Domination. This is from a different version of the game. Total Tavern mod. Total Tavern mod. Okay. So those are the 2 Total Tavern ones I need to do, and then I can turn it off. Seems good. We'll do those first. Hello, everybody. Total Tavern mod. Total Tavern mod. Okay. Oh, it's 3? Just got home. Oh boy! Alright, it seems like a lot of people have already gathered, mostly XMT and RTK people. But yeah, for anybody who cares, I like literally just got off a plane. I just got off a plane. And we are here now. I've been in Seattle for 3.5 days. Got off a plane, grabbed the dog, rushed home, threw my bags upstairs. Like, didn't unpack them, just literally threw them upstairs. And we gotta cast this, and then I gotta go unpack and figure my shit out. Oh boy. So we got Clan War between RTK and XMT. Looks like we have a mix of conquest, land battles, domination, 2v2 land battles, 2v2 domination, and a free-for-all to cap it all off. As far as I have been told, everything is worth 1 point. I'm going to cast 2 domination games in a row here because they're on the Total Tavern map pack, and then I can quickly go and turn that off and then reboot the game so we don't have any replay issues. It's Boss Toss versus XMT Sertia. Which apparently is Norexia. I thought it was Sertia, but it's whatever. I played Boss Toss recently. Seems like a cool dude. Seems like a chill bro. Sup, nerds? Not Dom, please. It'll get mixed in. Correct. All matches are worth 1 point. Got it. Game 1 is between Vampire Counts and Slaanesh. Hope travels went well. They went okay. They went alright. We lived. Survived. Alrighty. I mean, the army compositions aren't as big of a deal in domination because they're going to fluctuate as the game goes on, but for a start, it looks like we have a staunch line of infantry, lots of zombies and spears, even a Stearnsman. Then we have a corpse cart, 2 corpse carts just to buff up 2 different points, give a lot of healing to the counts and their stats they so desperately need. Strigoi Vampire Lord, Spirit Leech, Gaze into Gash, and then Invocation Heck with his own personal healing for the Ghoul King of Ushar, and he is going to for sure heal cap. He will not have any issues staying alive. Kind of surprised. I don't know domination meta super well, but I'm surprised not to see Manfred. You think in a domination game, as I get stuck inside of a mountain, I think in a domination game, his infinite Winds of Magic charging would be powerful, but I wonder if he's just like too fragile compared to the Strigoi Lord. Strigoi Lord's probably a little cheaper, but also the Terrorgeist regen plus his own Ghoul King of Ashoran can keep him pretty healthy, but I don't know. I guess especially against Slaanesh, that's the thing, right? Is if Manfred gets Rampage, he's going to instantly die. It's not like he can just sit in something and get infinite Winds of Magic. For Slaanesh, this is pretty standard fare on both Domination, Conquest, and land battles, is Skirmish Cav, Skirmish Cav, Skirmish Cav. Just try and get some damage on the counts because they are famously bad at dealing with Skirmish Cav. Triple Marauder Horseman of Slaanesh, the 4th one is already spawned. We have triple spawn of Slaanesh and Devoted Marauders with Exalted Keeper of Secrets with her Rampage of Pavane, plus the Slicing Shards to couple with her other Rampage, Seductive Glory AoE. Pretty easy to jump into a pile of things, Rampage them all into you, and then Slicing Shards on top of them. Is it a Dom Clan War? No, it has everything in it. It even has a free-for-all in it. Slaanesh is good versus Slaanesh in land battle. That might be one way of saying it. I know you misspoke, but I'm choosing to ignore the fact that you corrected it. First comes the Gaze into Gash, gonna hit the Keeper of Secrets. Really big chunk off that health bar. For very little off the Strigoi Lord, but As it is domination, you need 1,500 tickets to win. Counts already have, not the counts, the Slaanesh already have 200, and they're sitting on 2 points. They don't really feel that pressure to walk into this blob of vampire counts. Who dares message me? Okay. Those can be dealt with later. So, yep. Skirmish Cav still skirmishing around a little bit. Vampire counts do not have any nets or rampages of their own, so they can't force the Skirmish Cav back into them. Slaanesh is just sitting on 2 points. The vampire counts seem content to sit on their point. I wonder if they're just going for a build-up. Or they just spawn a bunch of stuff and they come at you in an unstoppable tide. I'm gonna times 2 speed through the skirmish phase because it's not as much my jam. Doot, skirmishing, getting caught on some skellies, and we're skirmishing. And the vampire counts refuse to move up because they're happy with 1 point. As we skirmish further, they're just trying to heal a little bit and get all the lads in order so they can charge at once. There's a mortar St. John. But yeah, largely firing into crypt horrors when they can. The crypt horrors just retreat and use their own regeneration plus the corpse cart to heal up. And the skirmish cav running out of ammo, though they can be desummoned and respawn. But now it looks like the vampire counts are content to make their move. Slaanesh has gotten nearly half the victory tickets they need. The Mortis Engine and Spearmen moving up to contest point 3. The rest of the army looks like they're not going to go for point 2. Instead, they're just going to kind of threaten point 2 and sit around near point 3. Mortis Engine doing its job, draining down Exalted Demonettes, Spawn, and Devoted Marauders. As long as it doesn't get completely surrounded, it'll be just fine. And there we go. Just as we predicted, once these guys run out of ammunition, they're going to get desummoned and resummoned back in to throw all of their shots at the vampire counts again. Hit some M&M, boy. I don't know if I have the energy for that right now. Fiends are in at last. Looks like they're going to take a free little shot onto Skeleton Warriors. Get a couple kills here and there while they can. Nothing really to stop them. Cryptoris can come up, but that's not a huge threat to the Fiends. And in comes a big flank of Slaanesh, though. As long as that Mortis Engine is draining, it really doesn't care about being surrounded. It just cares that it still has skeletons beneath its feet while it drains all of these guys down. Strigoi Lord's trying to find something to do. As most of the Vampire Count's army isn't doing anything. Alright. Skeleton Warriors, Crypt Horrors getting drawn into a fight through Rampage. In comes the Slicing Shards to cut them off so they can't run away. Looks like this Keeper of Secrets isn't waiting for like perfect casts with their Winds of Magic, realizing that they'll probably just get Gazed and Nagashed a few more times, so might as well get the Slicing Shards out while you can. Really good damage on 2 infantry and the Crypt Horrors. Over here, this fight goes pretty well for the vampire counts, all things considered. Like, Slaanesh still holds the points, so Slaanesh isn't sad about it, but, like, they're draining down a lot of expensive stuff, and they're trading barely anything to do it. There goes another Gaze in the Gash. We're at about 4,000 gold damage value for each party. Almost 9 minutes into the game here. The vampire counts of Boss Toss have more supplies in the bank. Looks like they just spawned some Black Knights now, but the Strigoi Lord dives in. He's going to try and snipe out the Exalted Keeper of Secrets. She'll probably fight back for what it's worth and just get some damage on her way out, but there's no real shot of her healing back up to full, so if he ever gets back into the sky, he's just going to gaze her one more time and then she'll die. Slaanesh is still at 2 victory points, and they are 2/3 of the way to capturing. So we're getting a little concerned if the vampire counts can truly wrestle the points back from them. In comes another Slicing Shards, and actually, yeah, the Keeper is back in. Just wanted to refresh that charge bonus. Apparently in the same mindset as I am about if that Strigoi Lord gets back up into the sky, she's just going to die to a Gaze and Nagash, so might as well do something. Spirit Leech goes after her too as the Slicing Shards deals with all those guys. Losing more Exalted Demonettes. But we did lose this whole pocket of Vampire Count's pressure. Still, point 3 is uncontested. There's plenty of Marauders in spawn to make sure that the Counts can't just walk over there. There's more Marauders in spawn to make sure that point 2 is safe. So far, really not seeing the threat the Vampire Counts are going to have on those points. Strigoi Vampire Lord is heal capped. No more healing for him, and he's currently rampaged and surrounded by Chaos Fury, so he's going to take a lot of damage there, but still think this Exalted Keeper of Secrets is on death's door. He's about to get rampaged. Ew! Now, luckily for him, he has a target in the air, so he can stay in the air. If he gotten dragged to the ground, that was going to be awful. So he just has to wait out that rampage, and he'll be fine. Slaanesh still taking the points. Gold damage value is extremely even, so both sides have taken a lot of damage. Counts are healing much more than Slaanesh, and we can see that. They do have more of a presence on the battlefield if you just look around. Like, those are much healthier health bars. Those are much healthier health bars than Slaanesh. But Slaanesh has done their job so far. They only need 300 more tickets, so that's 150 seconds to stay on the points. 2.5 minutes before they win, unless the Counts can do something drastic. And even then, it's not like if they take one, the Counts just win for free. They still have to deal with this. Narcissism to silence him and keep him in these Furies. These Furies they've gotten so much value. Yeah, 910 climbing. I love all of the rampages and silences to stop him from casting that final Gaze in Nagash that would kill this Keeper of Secrets. And if she goes, so much the Slaanesh army goes. We already saw some Fiends fade. We see some Furies fading there. These Furies would go. All these Marauders would get running. Demonettes would crumble. So it's going to be pretty tough, but another good slicing shards. It's going to hit the infantry of the Vampire Counts, really reduce their capturing potential. So even if they get to those points, they're not going to get much out of it. Finally, the Strigoi Lord gets to land, lands on the Keeper Secrets, takes her out immediately, and we'll see if this is enough to break the back of the Slaanesh army, if they can hold long enough to just capture on points, because that's all they're hoping for at this point. Which I know, like, domination you have to capture on points, yeah, of course, but I mean, if this game goes for another, I'm going to say 4 minutes, the Vampire Counts will win. So Slaanesh has to do something just to keep these points ticking up, because if they get triple capped with the Counts, they're never regaining momentum. It's just not going to happen. The Counts have too much left. Slaanesh doesn't have enough left. Neurexia is still holding. We're down to 150 points to succeed. Some of the skirmish cav, a lot of ammo, but they are falling back. Mortis Engine's very healthy. All these corpse carts and White Kings chilling. Now the Vampire Counts make their push for point 2. Look at this big pile up, just waiting to get past them and get to point 3, but still trying to hold. Those Chaos Spawn, those damn Chaos Spawn, literally unbreakable, just holding back this tide while all the skirmish cav come up. Now, unfortunately here for Neurexia, they are piled on top of each other, so they're not going to be able to throw as handedly. Some of them will obstruct themselves, but they're getting some decent damage out onto the Strigoi Vampire Lord. Not that that matters, unlike a Demonic Lord. It's not like once he dies, the whole Vampire Counts army just instantly fades away. Looks like this will be captured, but every single tick Slaanesh can get is important as we're down to 60 points left. That is 30 seconds on the clock before Slaanesh wins. Obviously, this can slow down that timer, but the Counts need a triple cap at this point. There's no mathematical way they can win with only 2 points, which they have now claimed. 35 seconds left on the board. Can Slaanesh hold on to this? Crypt Horrors and Crypt Ghouls are streaming in. A lot more Crypt Ghouls. Even though they're wounded, they're going to have plenty of capture weight. But can they hold for 25 more seconds? It does not look like it, as that is ticking away from them. It is indeed. Counts take it. Triple cap. Nothing for Slaanesh to do. 20 points left on the board, but I don't think they're ever going to reclaim any standing in this game. We can see these Exalted Demonettes are getting massacred. They are taking some units with them, but there's still no hope of recapturing this point. You have some weakened skirmish cav. There's not a lot of funds left in the bank for Neurexia. It's not like they were sitting on 2,000. We're going to get a second wave. So the Counts have equivalent supplies, but much more stuff on the field as they're about to take it. Mortis Engine's running down these guys, getting some drains out. I don't know, did the Hellstriders go for a back cap? I guess not, because there's all these skeletons streaming in. And that's the Counts' play at this point. They're just going to stream skeletons in until it's over. They just need to throw bodies at these points. They know Slaanesh can't keep up in the grind anymore. Mortis Engine is heal capped. Though honestly, it served its usefulness. As the last of the spawn get picked off, some Devoted Marauders are getting resummoned. Neurexia is down to like 10 units on the field, and 10 units including these 2 units, right? So they're really at like 7. I think that's it for Slaanesh. Skirmish Cav trying to kite out it a bit. I will ×2 speed as they're just trying to kite, but there's not a lot they can do. Hellstrider's got a little bit of damage here. More kiting. Fiends got summoned, but the Fiends get immediately drained away. Meanwhile, the counts are just triple capping. Yeah, you can't take it. Drops. And that was a win to boss toss. Pretty close affair there. Getting down to 20 points away from a loss, but counts. And that is 1 point to RTK. In the domination. I don't know if value really matters that much because stuff spawns in. Like the Mortis Engine probably got a ton. Yeah, 4,600. It was close. It was a good attempt. How come you were casting domination, copying turn again? I see. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure, that's me. All right, I'm looking for the total tavern label. Let's look at this one. 2v2 Dom. Skaven and Nurgle versus Tzeentch and Lizardman. Second wave Skirmish Cav may have been what did him in. Need more staying power. Possibly, though it's hard to rally staying power against the counts. Oak Master's wicked. Got it. Gotcha. So we have Tim the Wilder and Toxic Cows versus Norexia and Oak Master, which is apparently wicked. Alrighty, for the XMT lads, we have Nikai the Wanderer for Lizardman Lord, and then a Flock of Doomcaster, yeah, for sure. And a Manticore summon. I don't know about that one as much, but Flock of Doom's gonna be really good. It's great at clearing out infantry. Front line of Skinks, backed up by Croxagores, and we have a Rev Crystal for some healing, not something Tzeentch is used to getting. And then for the rest of Tzeentch, we brought blue and pink horrors. We did bring some Chaos Warriors with halberds and other Chaos Warriors here, so a bit of heavy metal to hold down the points. The other side, for Tim and Toxic Cows, Eshin Sorcerer with just the Warp Stars, Tretch Craventail, funny enough. I imagine he's just meant to be tanky on the point. Sit there, Tretch's Raiders out. He is pretty tanky, especially if you don't have direct damage spells. But I suppose with Blue Fire, if your Lord was from a flying angle, Blue Fire does do a lot of damage to Tretch, but nevertheless, you have Nurgle on your side, so you don't have to worry about Rancid Visitations two-shotting him. Then we have Poison Wind Globes, Stormverm with Halberds, Plague Monk Censor Bearers, Rat Ogres, Plague Toads, Marauders. So it looks like Nurgle's bringing a lot of the beef. Skaven have brought some Stormvermin and Globes to have Festus the Leech Lord. I haven't watched a lot of Dom recently, but every time I do pop in, Festus seems rather popular. I imagined an AoE heal while sitting on a point is pretty popular. And he's kind of cheap, low profile, hard to damage. Don't see why you wouldn't take Festus. The days of Kugath supremacy are long gone. They went. There's a lot of range damage in the game now that Kugath does not enjoy. You do like coming back for the Clan Wars. Satsuma, did you play? Did you change your name? Or is your name one I would recognize and you're just not in this replay? Eshin Sorcerer starting out by throwing his little ninja stars at the Chaos Warriors. Recently, there was an update to how magic missiles work, so now they target random entities in the enemy formation. So the ninja stars actually spread out and hit multiple lines of Chaos Warriors rather than just all 3 stars hitting literally one and dying. It is a Tim the Wilder game, so it wouldn't be a Tim the Wilder game if his team didn't sit AFK on one side while building up forces and the other side took the entire map. I will fast forward again through the brief skirmish phase. Casting throwing stars. da 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 da. Casting, throwing stars. Da 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 da. Casting, throwing stars. Da 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 da. Casting, throwing stars. Da 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 da. All right, things are happening. Oh boy. So 4 minutes in, a triple cap has been held by Tzeentch this whole time, so they're up about 400 points as Tretch tries to get on a point with 1. We have Plague Ogres with great weapons charging into Skink cohorts. They will do some decent damage onto those poor hapless 300 gold Skinks. Croc Score is going to go in to fight them, and these are the great weapon variants, so I don't know if you want to fight those Plague Ogres without significant support of your own. It doesn't look like you're going to get that. Skaven Globes moving up, they can clear through a lot of infantry. Though their specialty is more versus cavalry these days, they can also still do a walloping on blobbed up infantry. And with Nurgle and Skaven coming out of the trees at last, it looks like they're making a pretty concerted push for all 3 points. That one's still a bit out of their reach, but they are pushing up on points 1 and 2. Took point 1 without much fuss. We have more Feral Bastildons. Still on Res Crystals, just trying to cause some disruption. The Lizardmen are playing heavily into this flank. They had Nakai hiding the trees for quite a while, so it looks like they wanted to surprise the Skaven formation as Plague Mice Sensor Bears are going to come over. Need some Flock of Dooms to take care of those guys. Burning Head just went through the middle. And the Cultists of Tzeentch, he better have his Wand of Whimsy. Yes, he does. So I wonder, does that affect his ally? Yeah, Wand of Whimsy is actually affecting all the Lizardmen units too, so that's pretty clever. That's just a global plus 12 melee attack for the Lizardman forces. You'll love to see it. Hopefully he is casting lots and lots of spells. The Skaven push seems to have worked. They've now taken 2 points. Their enemies 1. Tzeentch does still hold on to the far right. And this could be a little problem. A lot of Skaven weapons teams getting caught out in the open. Knights of Immolation plus just Pink Horror Fire is going to take these guys out. Pink Horrors might need to turn onto the Rat Ogres soon, but definitely getting rid of the Globes first is very, very smart. The Skaven have a solid position on this central line, and Nurgle is backing them up a little bit. Nurgle seems to be locked in deadly combat on this other flank here, the left flank with the Lizardmen. So that's where these two are slugging it out. It's kind of soft Skaven versus Tzeentch, Nurgle versus Lizardmen, but obviously both sides have a little bit of bleed over. As more Plague Ogres are getting shot at by Flamers. Interesting to see so many Plague Ogres, but I suppose if you have the time to build them up, their mass is rather impressive. More Globes getting shut down as the Tzeentch forces continue to hold right in front of these Exalted Pink Horrors and the Sour Guts, getting lots of damage out there, though again, they're going to need to refocus their fire onto the Rat Ogres at some point, otherwise the Rat Ogres will disrupt them and cause a lot of problems. Flying units of Tzeentch continue on their rampage through the Poison Wind Globe lines, making sure those guys don't get too much done. How do these Flamers end up in melee? How was this allowed to happen? They shoot point blank into the Plague Ogres. Will it be enough damage? It actually looks like they might be able to just shoot their way out of a bad situation. Still, the Skaven Nurgle team up have 2 points. Nakai is continuing to harass Storm Vermin and Plague Monk Sensor Bearer alike. Flock of Doomcaster still alive, which is a big deal for the forces of the Lizardmen. They need it to clear out all these elite Skaven infantry. Sensor Bearers are hella weak to Burning Heads, but the Cultist has been kept on the other side of the battlefield, so we can't get near those Plague Monk Sensor Bearers and just throw a Burning Head down their line. And if you don't get Burning Headed, then Plague Monk Sensor Bearers are amazing units. It's just they're so weak to any type of spell that usually they're not taken. The Emerald Tide has rejoined to the fight, shooting at Plague Ogres. Plague Ogres do not like that. No missile resistance, only 50 armor, and these missiles are anti-large. Lizardmen seem to be getting the upper hand here. Seem to be. So they should push in soon. Skaven going to get some globe support here and there, but with these Cold Wind Riders right here, they should take those guys out. And now point 1 is going to be under threat for the Alliance. Point 3 has been completely untouched. Tzeentch alone has held that. They haven't even needed support from Lizardmen to hold that, so point 3 is not up for contention. Point 2 is being fought over, though it doesn't look like the Skaven Nurgle team is going to lose that anytime soon, so it really is. Point 1 is most of what we're going to be watching to see if this game goes one way or the other. Skaven are still trying to catch up on tickets. Nurgle and Skaven doing the slow build-up did give the Tzeentch forces a bit of a lead in. It's Tzeentch and Lizardmen, but it's just not a combo I'm used to saying, so I'm like, I know Tzeentch is here. Lizardmen I keep forgetting about. Cold Wind Spear Riders tear through some Night Runners. Feral Bastildon, Distracting Poison Wind Globes, and in-come Blightscab's Plague Pack. We do need a Burning Head down their line. Blightscabs are very hard to deal with in melee. You have to Burning Head those fools. But here we go. This is what we were worried about. Skaven and Nurgle lose their grasp on point 1. They don't have anything positioned to threaten to point 3. And Tretch is just chasing around this Chaos Lord of Tzeentch. His anti-large is wasted against Tretch, and Tretch's anti-large is very useful there. But where's the Cultist? Cultist, we have need of you! Alright, he's way back here. He has to get into the fight. He's got a Burning Head down those Blight Scabs, or they're going to do a lot of damage to everybody. How is that still in control of the Skaven? There we go. Lizardmen take their birthright, which is point 1. Tzeentch still hold on to point 3. And once again, the point lead remains in the favor of XMT as each side takes care of their own. In comes a huge Burning Head. That is going to do so much damage, and it weakens these guys to fire so that the Pink Horrors can do extra work there. That is because of the Kindle Flame, of course, not because literally Burning Head does anything about fire damage. Bolt to change right in the middle of those Blight Scabs, and that is a ton of damage onto a very expensive unit. Quite what we needed to see. These Doom Knights got lost in the sauce somehow, but they will be needed to peel for the Horrors in the back. It looks like Nurgle and Skaven are getting a second wave of reinforcements coming up to the front. They're starting to reclaim the point from the Lizardmen as Nakai and the Rev Crystal try and hold it down. They just don't have any support. We're getting some Skinks now. Some Swords are also trying to get here, but they need bodies on the point quickly if they're going to stop that cap. Skink Priest of Beast cannot be fighting Festus. I think this is an oversight, but it is a pretty big 2v2 battle, so obviously your vision is going to be everywhere at once, but the Skink Priest needs to get away from Festus. Flock of Dooms are not a dueling spell, my friend. Chaos Lord of Tzeentch has also had difficulties finding any real effectiveness. There we go. Nurgle and Skaven once again reclaim point 1. Still ticking up. We have some Dart Skinks in that should be able to save the Umbral Tide. This volley of Javelin should actually just outright kill the Rat Ogres. If they throw. They're obstructed right now, but if they throw, those Rat Ogres are dead. Hey. Yeah, they're kind of throwing. Alright. So point 1 is now a giant pile of nonsense, but point 2 is actually left rather undefended. This Chaos Lord of Tzeentch keeps making mistakes, though. He can't go after Tretch. Like, he just can't. 70 melee defense, and you don't get any buffs from your 30 bonus versus large. That's not going to work. Can't kill Tretch that way. Can't kill Tretch a lot of ways. Got to kill Tretch with spells. Cult of Tzeentch is in the back line. We'll need more Burning Heads from him. One is way over there, but that had to be a mistake. I mean, you could cast one right here on yourself, get a big old unit of Night Runners, cast it through here and go to some Nurgle guys. I don't know. It looked like it may be a miscast because it was just kind of chasing Rat Ogres off. Maybe I only saw the tail end of it. Maybe I'm not getting the full picture. As both sides are ticking up points rather steadily. Not quite sure who's going to get the edge. Are you still fighting Tretch? Bro, stop! Stop fighting Tretch! It's not working! Alright, Chaos Lord of Tzeentch runs away, covered by some Marauder Horsemen. Oh, he needs to get away from Tretch so bad. He can't keep doing this. The last of the Umbral Tide are going to fire in on some Rat Ogres, get what damage they can. There's Bile Trolls nearby as well, so a lot of good targets for those Salamanders, but this is going to be a problem. Festus wandering in with this Mortis Engine effect. Hurting Coldman Riders quite a lot, as Nakai is nearby, but not sure what to do, not try to break out here. For the Skaven Nurgle Alliance, they have about 25,000 damage, while Tzeentch and Lizardmen have about 22,000. So they're behind on damage value, and Nurgle has a lot of healing. I suppose a Rev Crystal is some healing, but I would rather have Nurgle healing, Fecundity, AoE from the healing elixirs, all that stuff. It's a little more potent than one Rev Crystal. Chaos Furies are in. I wonder if they're going to go chase down the Skink Priest of Beasts or if they're just going to leave him alone. Looks like they're going to leave him alone for now as more Lizardman Cavalry gets involved. Nakai is busy rampaging himself into nothingness, but he's coming back soon. We hope. As Bile Trolls gets around it, that's a quick terror route, and they will get going. The fight for point 1 is still hot and heavy. Point 3, completely ignored by everybody. It's just out there. Point 2 is being half-assed contested, but this is the real fight. Red team still up a little bit on points, but it's getting very, very close. Their advantage will slip away from them. Another flamer was spawned somewhere. I just saw their delightful fusillade. Fire again! Whee! Take that, Pestigors. I'll stop shooting. You're going to hit your own guys. Do have some Chaos Warriors with Halberds moving up. Those will be good for fighting for the point and holding it down. Nakai's in here trying to clear out some of these guys. Does have his minus leadership roar, which can help get rid of some of the more cowardly elements of the Nurgle army. Like that. We can see that these Chaos Warriors are going to rout. The Bile Trolls are not long for this world, neither is the Frolic Juice Bubonic, honestly. So we'll see how they do. In the back, somehow the Chaos Lord of Tzeentch ended up near Tretch again, which, seeing as how you have 1,000,000 speed and he has 3, I don't know how that keeps happening, but please stop letting it happen. Salamanders are gone. Stildons and Nakai keep holding it down, but there's just no capture right here for the Lizardmen or Tzeentch. They're trying to get some with these Chaos Warriors coming in. Skinks were trying to make it there. It's looking a little hopeless. I don't know how you can dislodge this much stuff. We have Stormvermin Halberds, we have full health Pestigor, full health Rat Ogre. I think you got to make a play for point 2, and it looks like they are. Globe's going to get a really nasty volley on the Coldwind Riders, but that should be the end of those Globes. Coldwind Riders getting onto them uncontested. There's nothing around that can really peel. Don't shoot at your own Coldwind Riders. Don't do that. They should be able to kill those Globes. Don't know why they're faffing about over here. Get back in there. But yeah, I think that's the last hope for the red team, for XMT, is to take point 2 suddenly, because this is not going to happen. This here ain't looking too good. Unless you have a sick burning head, but I guess those are Chaos Warriors. They don't even take that much damage. Still have some Exalted Pink Cores being summoned, so still summoning shooting this late in the game. Flamer's trying to path past Tretch. That was a tongue twister. But they get caught up on him instead. Now the Eshin Sorcerer is going to arrive, so the Flamer's wandering into melee combat. A bit of a whoopsie. It does look like all hands are abandoning point 1. Going for point 2 instead. Gonna be down to the wire. Checking on chat for a second there. Bye, Contrarian. Bye, Contrarian. For some reason, the Cold seems to have pathing issues. Oh, okay. Weird. Weird. So here we are. Coldwind Riders trying to rout off these Night Runners. Maybe leave the Eshin Sorcerer alone with the Chaos Lord. Tzeentch trying to sneak some guys onto the point, but I mean, Nurgle has 3 infantry here and you have 2, so that math don't track. Nurgle's going to hold that point just fine, and it really is down to the fight for the middle. Point 3 still uncontested, as always, as Nakai tries to keep routing things. Big terror out coming in, pushing the Skaven off the point. We see red ticking up. Maybe Tzeentch and the Lizardmen can take this point. Maybe, possibly, as the cultists getting bullied around by Plague Ogres and Plague Toads, and Marauders are chilling. But there's a Stormvermin Halberd here that is going nowhere quickly, but it looks like massive bodies is just enough as we pile in Chaos Warriors and multiple horrors. The point's getting taken, and the Skaven can't quite stop it. Nurgle tries to arrive. And it is now controlled by Tzeentch. Tzeentch is taking up 2 points at a time as they were tied at 1390 for score. 100 points left to go, and red currently has 2 points. They've just got to hold on to them. No one's going for point 3. Someone is, technically, apparently. But now both sides are just going to grab whatever they can throw at the point and just literally throw bodies on the point to try and stop the Skaven from taking it. Or for the Skaven and Nurgle to, you know, just outweigh them in sheer body mass and take it. Point 1 has literally no red units near it at all. Point 3 does have some sneaky green units trying to cap, but I don't think they can cap in the next, I don't know, 20 seconds before this game is over. Tzeentch and the Lizardmen have too many bodies on the point. The Skaven and Nurgle are starting to take it back. The Skaven and Nurgle are starting to take that one, but it looks like it is too late as we have 7, 5, 3, 1. W for XMT. So XMT bring it back in the 2v2 dom. Bum, bum, bum. Once again, checking values and domination is kind of a moot point. Eshin guy did fine. Stormvermin Halberds were pretty darn good. Globes didn't get as much value as you would suspect, but I imagine they were targeted pretty heavily and shut down. How did Festus do? 1200. Yeah, he's probably healing plenty. Burning Headcaster did great. Nakai didn't get a lot of value, but man, he was out there trying. He was trying his ass off. Okay. So now I have to shut this down. Go away. And I have to turn off the mod. I do not want your mod anymore. You cannot make me. Mod manager. Deactivate all. Yes. Okay, play. I'm back. Boom, boom, boom. Easy peasy. All right, we've cast a lot of domination. Let's switch over to some land battles or some conquest. Mix it up, keep people guessing. We'll do conquest. RTK Zegzi versus Rider of Rohan. Beastman Kislev. Kislev has been struggling since all their nerfs. They're not like a dead faction, but they're not having a good time. And we have an elemental bear. I know not why, I know not how, but the Extreme Beam team keeps living up to their name. Alright. For the Beastmen, it's a big old surround. Gore herds, Ungor Spearman herds, Centigores. Centigores are great weapons. Pretty classic stuff. We do have a Doom Bull with that dazed debuff whenever he hits you. And Slaughter's Call. Razorgore Chariots. I really like Razorgore Chariots now after their buffs. Good at breaking through Kislev front lines and disrupting their archers. Trader King Caster in case of Hero Hammer. And then a bunch more Centigores and Pestigores. For Kislev, however, it is not necessarily Hero Hammer. I've been hearing dreaded rumors of like the Golden Knight plus Patriarch plus Tsarina or something. But we have Triple Horse Archer, Double Winged Lancer, an Elemental Bear, Frostworm, Ice Witch of Tempest with Hawks of Mishka, then a Patriarch with that healing, all those halberds that Kislev loves to bring, and then the Mordheim Beowulf's ROR, little sneaky things in the woods to reduce healing, though I'm not sure. Maybe he's worried about Gorgons. Yeah, he's probably worried about Gorgons. So the Frostworm, since it got its update to get collision damage and whatnot, it is just an anti-large chariot duelist. Kislevite Bear is also getting collision damage, so they're going to kill a lot of infantry that way. Terror Rout's already coming through for those guys. Mordheim Beowulf stuck in a fight with Centigores. Getting some decent damage out, but they're also taking quite a lot. There's a Hawks of Mishka trying to make it easier for these guys to get cleared out. Route the Gore herds away from the Elemental Bear, and then maybe your Winged Lancers and Horse Archers can chase them off the map. That would be pretty cool. Though with Beastmen, you always want to be careful of not getting overextended. Oh, that was a breath attack. That was a nasty breath attack down the Centigores. Say goodbye to those guys. The Beastmen are in dire straits. The Razorgore herds are already getting... Razorgore Chariots, I mean. Already below half HP. Doombull is in, but he's surrounded by enemies at the moment. There's not a lot else he could do, though. Look at all those routing Beastmen. They're just not feeling it. They're not feeling it, Mr. Krabs. Silix Lullaby is out. Didn't quite catch the Elemental Bear, but it did heal up the Mordheim Beowulfs, who are currently surrounding the Doombull, who's next to the Frostworm. Frostworm could ever turn and figure out how to hit him. That'd be pretty great. And yeah, this is looking like a decisive rout. Elemental Bear's just too big and too spooky. In comes the first Traderkin. Really good Traderkin hit. Though you're going to need a lot longer of a game if those Traderkins are going to carry it. It's a good hit, but like, it's one of how many? Another Hawks cast out, lowering the leadership of those guys, getting them to rout, leaving the Razorgore Chariots all alone. We're already on their way out of here. See if they terror out. Looks like they'll be okay. The Doombull is doing pretty good work in the Ice Switch. He is a dedicated duelist while she's a hybrid duelist. She has support nearby if she needs it. The Patriarch also can give her healing, and the Mordheim Beowulfs have never really given up on this fight. They're nearby. once they get sucked onto the Doom Bull again. I think this is over, though. Like, looking around, the Beastmen have nothing left. Everything is routing besides the Doom Bull and their caster. The Winged Lancers plus Kizovite Horse Archers could chase down all the stuff that has, like, crazy low leadership at this point. Another beautiful Traderkin out onto these guys, though I imagine we'll see a Steelix Lullaby soon, because I haven't seen one in quite a while. And yeah, Beastmen just surrender. A 4v4 or 2v2? There was a 2v2. Alright, Zegzy had a pretty rough go of that, just loading in. The builds were not comparable. It was full melee Beastman rush against, like, not really a blob, but definitely SEM, heal, power? Because they didn't stick together. The Ice Bear went wherever it wanted to and just murdered infantry. She went wherever she wanted to and just murdered infantry. And then everywhere people scattered, Winged Lancers and the Horse Archers flooded about and killed them. So it wasn't like a blob. It could have been blobby, but you didn't play it that way. Okay, let us delete that one. I know I have to update the score, I just don't want to, so I will not do that. Angel versus Maydave. XMT's up 2-1. More Beastmen versus Angel's Skaven. See what Maydave can do. RTK putting their hopes of getting back to a tied score in the Skaven. Night Runners and Skaven Slave Slingers abound. No Poison Wing Globes. Then we have a front line of Clan Rats and Storm Vermin Halberds. Skaven Slaves in the back. Do have a Warlord and a Brood Horror. The Brood Buddies, as it were. A couple Rat Ogres in here as well, and a Morlock Engineer with just Flensing Ruin and his Warpstone armor. Neat. I still like Globes. I like Globes because they hurt Centaurs a lot. But again, not taking them. You know, aside for the Beastmen, Centaurs, Harpies, a Jabberslife, Centaurs, Azinj, some Archers, some Razor Gore Herds, more Gores, Malagor Dark Omen, up above it just Flock of Doom. That is an unholy amount of Beastmen. They almost outnumber the Skaven, which is concerning. Skaven walking up. Gonna capture the point if the Beastmen don't feel like moving forward. I think Malagor is trying to just cast Flock of Dooms over and over again, is my guess, but all this time, you're letting the Warlock Engineer charge up Flensing Ruin, which it takes him a crazy long time to charge up Flensing Ruins. He has no Winds of Magic buff at all. So I don't know if the long game really favors you in that aspect. Centaurs are pretty good versus Skaven, yeah. Archer's gonna try and get free shots onto the Warlord. 60 armor, no shield. Pretty easy prey for that as Razor Gore's trying to surround him. The Archer's still trying to fire, occasionally obstructed or just not feeling like it. And they hit mostly their own pigs. Pathetic Beastman Archers. Archer's happy to shoot at Storm Vermin. More Flocks of Doom's gonna tax him a bit as Slingers get their shots on the Ungor Spearman herds, but definitely Ungor Archers are gonna do more DPS to Storm Vermin than vice versa there. Yep, they're starting to try and dodge. Tail between their legs a little bit. In come the Rat Ogres and the Storm Vermin. Should cleave through the Ungor Spearman herds rather effectively. Then again, the Beastmen never really wanted the Ungor Spearman herds to win. They just wanted to hold them down while 3 Archers fire in. Those are going to be some dead Rat Ogres and Storm Vermin pretty soon. Centaurs Azinj trying to get up through the middle and charge onto the back line somewhere. But this is the kind of the point of this type of Skaven build, is everything is kind of melee-ish. Like, even Night Runners aren't slapshers in melee combat, so it's like, what are you getting to the back line to disrupt when everything fights? Huh? Nothing. Centaur's Zinch almost rout off. They are going to terror out eventually. While still at 2/3 HP, so that's pretty bad loss for the Beastmen there. The Skaven are taking a lot of damage. There goes our first Overcast Cleansing Rune onto Malagor. Malagor doesn't have spell resist, does he? No, he doesn't. Low HP pool, no spell resistance. That Cleansing Rune will do a lot. Beastmen's round has been patient. They've been lurking in the trees, but they're starting to come in now. Night Runner's going to scatter and get some ninja stars into these guys. And actually, they are just going to peel off. They don't really want too much of the smoke, I guess. The Jibber Jabber rampages through, terror routing off Stormvermin halberds. I wonder if he should try and kill that Warlock Engineer with the Jabber Scythe. It does have bonus for infantry. And the Warlock Engineer is super cowardly. Like, he'll rout at 80% HP. For sure. We have some Centaurs in the midfield. Lollygagging. They gotta keep moving as they now get shot by Night Runners, but they need new orders. The Jabber Scythe's now just stuck. It's not really fighting the Warlock Engineer, it's just kind of fighting Rat Ogres while getting shot at. Centaurs once again coming back in, but the Conquest point is ticking up for the Skaven. Beastmen can't take forever about it. There go the Slingers, though. Centaurs get onto them. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. 200 gold, sling unit. Routing. Not exactly shocked. Warlord's getting a little low. That's his job. Gets low, keeps his leadership up, heals up anyway, and he'll be fine. Do the Beastmen have the damage to really take out the Skaven? It's more my concern. Hey, a Packmaster got routed. Alright, that's a start. Centaurs can try and chase him down, though I suppose they might terror out if they get far enough away from their friends, and then the Packmaster rallies. But good damage onto him. Skaven are down in the balance power quite a bit. Jabberscythe stuck fighting the Warlord, not getting too much damage out. Meanwhile, Ungr Spearman Herds and Archers are both getting drained by the Warlock Engineer. Jabber charges through. Jabber probably terror outs. Probably. Nope. Those Stormvermin are steady. Look at him just charge around. The Warlord's like, hey, get back here. And while the Warlord stands around trying to figure out his attack angle, he is getting shot by the Archers the whole time, so he's taking a lot of damage. Hazel's here. Hi, Hazel. Hi, Hazy Maisie. Another terror out from the Jabberscythe. The Warlord is naturally routing. That is a big problem, though the Beastmen don't have anything nearby currently to chase him down. No Centaurs or anything to keep up with him. Warlock Engineer routes as well. Beastmen way up on the balance of power. I don't see how the Skaven can rally and keep this together. I like how Malagor is just lurking. He's like, nah. I don't need to do nothing. I'll just rout him. Beastmen Archers trying to turn and fire at the Warlock Engineers, currently surrounded by their own comrades. They probably won't fire. Yeah, let's just give up. Skaven just give up. It's another win for XMT. Bump, bump. Warlord and the Brood Horror both were good sources of terror. Nice and tanky. They don't get a lot of damage out. They need the damage to come from elsewhere in the build. And the Night Runners couldn't really supply it. Stormvermin and Halberds couldn't get supplied either. They rely on your opponent taking Chaos Spawn or Minotaurs to get their value back, which is risky. As we saw, the Jabber just has such good attack animations it can ignore them entirely. Alright, XMT up. I'm getting spooked. We'll do some more domination. Flip back and forth. Bob Dat Builder versus Alexander Nuts. Vampire Coast and Zinch. First time seeing Coach in Domination for a while. Radiant Ash rated. What up, Ash? Good, Big JP. I'm glad. I'm glad. Once again, the starting armies for Domination do change because you spawn in a bunch of stuff, but the initial strategy for Bob Dat Builder: triple Rotting Promethean Gunnery mobs, and then regular Deckhands mobs to swamp the point a bit. We do have a Wind of Death and Invocation Hatcaster, a Gunnery White with Scab Scrape, and then more Powder, and then more Zimby Zambos. For Zinch to start off, Exalted Lord Change with pink and blue fire. Up in the sky, great for attack angles, bad for being shot at. And then, yeah, that is really good. A spawn of 5 pink horrors and 5 blue horrors, one of just the sour guts. Archers are always good versus the Vampire Coast, and blue horrors and pink horrors and stuff are just demon archers. Blue horrors march up. Little bit of blue fire from the Exalted Lord of Change. Don't know what he shot at. Doesn't look like too much was damaged in the attempt. This crab just took a little nick. Little nickin'.
We have a victory point. Keep it from the foe.
Zinch is captured points 3 and 2. Vampire Coast gets there 1. Both free. 115 viewers. That's weird. It's wild. Son of Kieran, thank you for the $10. Thanks for the weekend content, dude. Always. Always. I was in Seattle, so I couldn't stream yesterday, but we're streaming today. And where are you? You are in a clan war. A mix of conquest, domination, land battles, 2v2s, and free-for-alls between XMT and RTK. So get ready for literally every single fucking game mode, brother. Queen Bess is firing down on some horrors. Yep. Really good damage, even through the shield of those pink horrors. I imagine our Exalted Lord of Change friend is going to have to get some blue fires down on the Queen Bess soon if he's going to shut her down. Instead, going to use pink fire. Ooh, he might just throw a Fury at him. Yeah, that could be it. Coaster quickly trying to spawn some defenders, handgun mob and a polearms mob, but I don't know if they can kill a Fury outright on the way in. Maybe. Nope. Bolt of Change is in, as is the Fury Summon trying to shut down Queen Bess. Now, a lot of flying small units like this have issues figuring out what of Queen Bess to attack, whether they attack the crew or the artillery model itself, so it looks like that is going to be the problem here. And Queen Bess will carry on shooting for quite a while. The horrors have gotten in range to start trading fire. Coast just offer up crabs to be shot for the most part, accepting that the low armor piercing values of those twinkly lights doesn't actually do much damage to them. Insanely high armor, they'll be fine. Queen Bess survived the assault. The cannon model is intact and the crew just needs to get back on its mount. We have dogs here as well to discourage any further activity like that. Meanwhile, the Exalted Lord is using his blue fires on the enemy lord. I can appreciate that, but I feel like blue fire is insanely effective versus Queen Bess. If it hits her model, like 2 overcast blue fires kills the model. I don't know. I feel like you just do that. Centaurs each spawn for a little bit of mobility. They can kill scurvy dogs quite easily on the charge. If both units are charging at each other, the impact damage of the Centaurs being larger does mean quite a lot. This Vampire Fleet Captain is now under attack by the Exalted Lord of Change. He does have good hybrid stats. She also has some decent hybrid stats, and yeah, he's not going to want to stay on the ground for long. We do have crabs coming to deal with him. Arcane Surge gives him a bit more winds of magic for now, and Zinch is continuing to just light up any Vampire Coast units that get on the point. Nice Wind of Death on the line, but the spread out formation of the demons makes them not impervious, but not as susceptible to that kind of attack as others might be. Invocation fixes the broken model. Yeah, you'd have to cast quite a couple. As far as holding points goes, point 2 is still pretty firmly in Tzeentch's hands. Looks like Coast is making a bum rush for it, but I suspect they're going to take a lot of damage for that and not accomplish too much. Could be wrong. Oof, yeah, look at all that damage on the clustered up zombies. Centaur's Tzeentch going to try and take a fight with the dogs, but they don't get a charge on the dogs. They are walking slowly due to the monstrous impact of Queen Bess. Yep, so now they get chomped on by the dogs. 22 melee defense is not a lot to defend them at all when they got charged. So that is a bit of a disaster. Speaking of disaster, friendly fire on your own dogs. Wall Centaurs at last get to Queen Bess's crew. Dogs summoned counter to them, trying to keep it safe, but Queen Bess is a squishy lady. She's probably gonna die anyway, as some now pistol mobs have been spawned out. Maybe, possibly. The fire continues. Pink Horrors using all of their ammunition willy-nilly onto the crabs and the zombies and everything. Just everything. Alexander Nuts is down almost 2,000 damage value, though, which I find insane. I think he's been doing pretty well. Queen Beth's crew is starting to crumble. I don't know if their lord is in range to even use Invocation Heck on them, so they might have to be re-summoned. They're okay. They're back online. Dogs and everything got summoned back once again. Exalted Order Change getting pretty low, but so is the Vampire Fleet Admiral of Death. Or vampires, I guess. It's a different kind of death. Another blue fire out onto that guy. It misses horribly. Literally didn't hit him at all. And Queen Bess is back again. Just when you thought you were done with Queen Bess, you're never done with Queen Bess. Night Terrors get into the fight as the last of the crabs that spawned in the game are gone. Still pretty big lead for Tzeentch as far as capture points go. For damage value, the Vampire Coast is getting further and further ahead. Exalted Order Change is just busying itself fighting some zombies. I think it wants to get its barriers back or something. Doesn't want to overextend. But the Gunnery White's slowly plinking away at him. Keeping his... I hit the microphone with my elbow, that's my bad. Anyway, Gunnery White's been slowly shooting this guy down, so he's not getting his barriers back. He is just staying at that low health point. Arcane Surge for more Winds of Magic, plus a pink fire down the line. And still, man, Tzeentch is not giving up this point 2. Alexander Nuts is holding on. Bye, BF Gaming. I hope you have a good one. Queen Bess stays online. Vampire Coast putting a lot of effort into making sure that stays true. Arcane Surge for more Winds of Magic. Okay, I was just checking out my audio after bumping the thing. Leonor, you ruined my ASMR session? Sorry, dude. No, I'm sorry. Ooh, this is actually really bad. Tzeentch is trying to take a 3rd point from the coast. Coast send 3 dogs to go deal with it. Zongor is honestly can hold against 3 dogs pretty well, though, especially since they got charged from the front. They're getting some support from Pink Horrors, a rear charge in for Chaos Furies Tzeentch, and this could be a bit of a disaster for the Vampire Coast. Losing 3 dogs. I guess they're 3 wounded dogs, but still 3 dogs. You're having such a problem dislodging Tzeentch from points 1 and 2, but even losing point 3 while you're already behind is quite brutal. Any opinions regarding the DLC in the patch? I haven't gotten to play with it, so I don't know. The trailer was not promising. The trailer looked pretty bad. And it also looks like they focused pretty heavily on single entities again, but we'll see. They always have some, but remember Shadows of Change 1.0 was really bad because it was just all single entities and that was garbage. Shadows of Change 2.0 added more multi-entity models, which was better. So I don't know. But if Khorne got like 3 more single entities and not a lot of other stuff, then he's still gonna be bad. I'm a little concerned because didn't Khorne just like get literally infantry and single entities? That's not exactly an area he struggled in. He struggled in having mobility that was worth a damn. Bro's a subathon that disappears for a month. Okay, I didn't disappear for a month. I disappeared for 3 days. I went to Seattle. And the subathon is still going, sir. Alexander Nuts is still behind almost 3,000 value. But it just hasn't mattered. Still holds all 3 points. He does hold all 3 now. He got the triple cap. Oh, Coast. What will you do? What will you do, Coast? Dislodge the Zinchians. Looks like just a metric shit ton of zombies on the central point. That'll do it. Boom! They got a point! But now you have a different problem. I mean, it's still a double cap. It's just what's being capped is the problem. Ooh, nice win to death. A lot of damage to a Zongor, a lot of damage to another Zongor, and then the third Zongor gets hit with Queen Bess on his way out. But anyway, sneaky Morngulls onto point 3 are trying to slowly capture it. They also got AP Monster Symmetry because they didn't have the best of those anyway. To visit 3rd and Pike, the best block in the city? No. Nah. We didn't do too much downtown Seattle. Visited the Pop Culture Museum. Went out for food, a couple fun places, went on some hikes. Hung out outside, went bouldering with my brother-in-law. Played some board games. It was fun. Queen Bess faded away. Pistol mobs are now getting charged by Furies, and I'm getting scared for the Coast. They hold the central point. They're about to sneak that one to the Morngul because no one even knew that was happening. But I don't know if they can finish out this game. We'll see. Zinch is getting whittled down quite badly. So are the Vampire Coast, to be fair. A lot of their bodies on the field are just trash bodies. Literal deckhand mobs. Zongor hold against dogs and the Vampire Countess alike. Low armor and high speed of Khorne units surprise me. Yeah. Yeah. Khorne has some of that sometimes, though. Fleshhounds. Scurvy dogs will probably fade away into nothingness, but it looks like the Coast have reclaimed this point. Zinch all of a sudden spawns a whole bunch of blue horrors, 3 blue horrors to be exact, and they're sending over 2 spearman units to deal with these Morngulls and dogs to try and reclaim that spot. Meanwhile, the second point also still belongs to the Coast, and also Zinch is trying to clear it out. Coast currently, I thought they triple capped. No. Okay, apparently location 3 is still held by Zinch. That's shocking to me. So now the Coast is a double cap. They need a triple to win at this point. If Zinch just piles everything they have into point 3, they'll be fine. Honestly, kind of want to see the blue horrors come over here too. Just make sure this doesn't go anywhere. The Coast is not known for moving quickly. Like, look at all these forces over here. They can't get to point 2 or even point 3 before this game ends. So just super reinforce point 3, make sure they can't take it, and you'll win on points alone. Which board games? We played the Stardew Valley board game. We played Charty Party. It's pretty much Cards Against Humanity, but with like charts. We did not play any of my board game, Puppet Masters. No longer in sale because nobody bought it. Well, not nobody. We sold 700 copies, but not enough to keep it going. This is looking like a Zinch dub, however. Point 1 is firmly in the capture of the Coast, but now Zinch is about to retake point 2. They have point 3, and they're only 50 points away from the win. I don't know what BOB can do.
One of your units has been destroyed.
One of your units has been destroyed, my lord. Well, that's too bad.
You have been
Yep, that's it.
tested.
GG. Man, XMT up 4-1. RTK. Figure it out. No, I do want to see. Queen Bess didn't get that much value. Damn, I thought she tried her ass off. Queen Bess, you a chump. Back to land battles. Jepardu versus Queefer Sutherland Pineapple. I'm guessing this is its current year. RTK won that one? Oh, hey! You tricked me! You tricked me! RTK is always supposed to be on the left side, and XMT is always supposed to be on the right side. You tricky sneakies. Okay, whatever. I was assured, I was told that RTK sent in all the replays. I think JP warned me about that one specifically not being correct, that RTK didn't send that one in, so they found it on XMT's side, but still. Alright. Righty. For Jepardu and the Demons of Chaos, a front line of Nurglings, backed up by Seekers of Slaanesh, Chaos Furies of Khorne, an Exalted Lord of Change of Metal, some Fiends, and the Hellforged Host. On the other side, for XMT, its current year, front line of Spears, Archers, and Lothern Seaguard along the back. Then we have some Illyrian Reaver Archers, the Fireborn, an Arcane Phoenix, and Teclis with a Regrowth, and Flock of Doom with his net as well. Fireborn immediately get into a fight with the Seekers, who are netted in place. They will die on the charge for sure, but how much damage can go back on the Fireborn in return? It looks like not a lot just yet, as Teclis is the target of this little snipe attempt here. Front line of Nurglings already fading away. Can't get through the Spearmen, and they're getting shot over the top by Archers. Fury's going to dive onto the other Archers and do a lot of damage over there. That is just fantastic for those Furies. They love eating up Lothern Seaguard, especially Khorne's Furies. With their Frenzy, they get extra melee attack. Still be just fine. Demons of Chaos are still a rather fragile roster, even with all their buffs. They are not a bad roster, but they are very fragile. We can see quickly units, demonic instability crumble away, so you do have to get what effectiveness you can out of them. They're not as much a stay and fight faction a lot of the time. We're about to lose more Seekers. We're about to lose more Chaos Furies. Jepardu is down a decent amount of balance of power at the very start of this game, as the Fireborn are busy killing other Chaos Furies of Khorne. They want to hurry up and finish that so they can get in and rear charge the Fiends, especially. They want to find those Fiends. Teclis has to be careful, and Overcast Found Trans is taking a lot of his HP. Did not pop the Potion of Troy for healing or the damage resistance. Now some of the Archers are getting pushed away by the Chaos Furies. Other Seekers are back into the fight for now, getting picked off by Archers as they charge in, but they will make it in. Once their charge bonus wears off, they might just fade away, however. And the Fireborn, there it is. That's the exact play I was hoping for, as they charge back into the fight after dealing with the Chaos Furies of Khorne. They charge in, immediately kill the Fiends on the outset. And if Teclis can regrowth himself or the Fireborn and then Potion of Croy himself, the High Elves have probably got this game in the bag. But if he or the Fireborn gets sniped out without any of that crucial healing getting cast, then the Demons have a shot, but it's just a shot. Bounce power is 50-50. Bounce power does not factor in the fact that regrowth exists. Furies and Nurglings still trying to cause some harassment on the top side. Hellforged Hosts have gotten into the thick of things, and they are going to slash through any High Elf infantry they can get their hands on. The Arcane Phoenix hovers above the battlefield, does need to go help Teclis probably. Teclis needs to help himself. Teclis really needs to use a potion of Croy. Nice little firestorm in. Teclis, buddy, Potion of Croy. Uh-oh, you're about to get rampaged back into the big monster. He got rampaged back into the big monster. What?
You must be pretty zonked.
Hazel is pretty zonked. She's a very zonked little lady. Nice Searing Doom. That's going to kill off all those Illyrian Reavers, push them away. So then that leaves just Teclis and the Arcane Phoenix fighting on top of Fiends. The Fireborn need to find their way to safety and then come over here and deal with this. But Teclis is going to die. And I have to say, some big misplays from Teclis, not getting regrowth off onto himself, not getting any Potion of Croys here. It might have been a cooldown because he has 3 out of 4 charges, but I didn't see one in a long time of following Teclis. Bounce power is still in the High Elf's favor, though I am a little concerned, just a little teeny bit concerned. Without Teclis, maybe the High Elves don't have the longevity for this fight. Arcane Phoenix plus the Fireborn going to get a good charge on the Exalted Lord of Change. Looks like the Fireborn are going to focus on the Fiends. I think that is safer. Exalted Lords of Change. Since Warhammer 3 came out, they are famous for just sneaking away under any circumstances, so might as well get those Fiends while you can. Nurgling's fading away, Bloodletter's getting shot from all sides by the remnants of archers. As long as the Fireborn went down fighting, which they did, they got decent damage onto the Fiends. The Fiends are now going to pick apart the Arcane Phoenix, but you'd think that this many archers and spears, if they stay spread out, they can just pincushion the Fiends of Slaanesh and then slowly kill the Exalted Lord of Change, and they'll be fine. Thanks for casting tutor for the glory of RTK, honor, integrity, loyalty. All those XMT guys are pretty cool. It's true. He misclicked regrowth? Where? Where did he do? Arcane Phoenix is going to rout, but it held for long enough that the Hellforged Toast in the background are going to finally die. Eventually. I saw them crumbling, but they rallied for a brief second. Fireborn get their final shots onto the Fiends of Slaanesh, with the archers firing over the top. There's the shatter. Arcane Phoenix is also probably going to shatter. It doesn't matter because they bought all the time they needed. Searing Doom can be largely ignored, as actually those Spearmen dodged into it, so a bit of a whoopsie there again. But yeah, kill the Fiends, and then spread out your forces and just slowly pin-cushion the Exalted Lord Change of Metal down to nothingness. As the Fiends charge into Love and Seaguard, they are charging into Spears. They are dead. Leaving just that Flyboy. Arcane Phoenix is even back. Can constantly harass this guy. Exalted Lord Change, 30 armor, no missile resistance, just 20% physical resistance, is not immune in any way to archer fire. He's in fact very weak to it. As his attack animations are keeping him safe for now by just making him fly all over the place, the Omen of Asuryan is going to get some free attacks on him. If he stops to fight the Omen, he will not be nearly as squirrely and much easier to hit with those arrows. He's lost about 1,000 HP in front of us. More arrows pour in. He's okay. That stand-up animation, he's literally invulnerable. Arrows were passing through his model, but okay. All right, we take those. One more hit on the Arcane Phoenix will trigger its heal or its death. It died. Pretty unfortunate there for the sides of the High Elves. I don't know if they'll need it, but that is pretty unlucky to not get the heal. Not that it, you know, has to happen, but they definitely would have wanted it to. Archer's still trying to shoot this guy on his way in. He's taking thousands of damage, down to 2,000 HP. He's doing his best to dodge on his way in. In comes a Doom Bolt. A Bolt of Change. It's a Doom Bolt, but it's blue. Otherwise, it's the same. This is what we were saying before, though. I mean, with the spread out archers, there's just too many, and you can't clear them fast enough, so he's just gonna get shot. Zinch is toast. Demons of Chaos are toast. High Elves are gonna do a 100. I think. You guys got this? I mean, he's sitting on top of Lop and Seaguard, so he should be getting poked by spears, and he's getting shot by archers. He's below 1,000 HP now. Yeah, there's no hope. Yeah, this shit's lost. Someone say crabs? What up, Licinia? How you doing? Hey, we have 130 people watching. Give me 1 second. Don't go anywhere. Don't you go anywhere. You stop it. For Jet Pardu, his Lord did fantastically. 3,500 value. 1,100 for the Exalted Bloodletter. Casters did well. Fiends. Ooh, one of the Fiends did great. Techless got murked. Fireborn and the Arcane Phoenix did well. And I imagine the Archers are going to have a field day. Nothing too crazy. A lot of the Seaguard are good values. Hey! Hey! Hey. What is this again? No, not that. Nobody wants that. Browse. Thermo. This one. If you aren't subscribed, you should do that because we have a subathon going for 2024. It ends January 1st, 2025. You should subscribe. It's free. Just go do that. Click the little thing. If we hit certain goals of subscribers before January 1st, we'll do fun content. We are very close to the 12,500 ice bath thing, where I have to fill a bathtub full of snow and ice and then sit in it while answering your stupid-ass questions. If we get to 13,000, I'll make a build guide for every faction. If we get to 13,500, 20-hour stream. Just saying, it's out there. Maybe subscribe or whatever. But for now, we have XMT getting a point. And this time I triple checked. It is XMT getting that point. Alright, we're still skipping the free-for-all, so let's go to some conquest here. Charix, that's a name I haven't seen in a while. Charix versus Olaf the Moose. Why is ice bath still a thing? I think it's just a thing that I wanted to do. I don't think it's an internet thing anymore. Britannia versus Norska. We have mounted yeoman archers. Charix is always a fan of kiting, usually playing as wood elves. Alberic de Bordelot with some leadership debuff action, trying to get Norska to be more cowardly than usual. Then peasant mobs for a front line, Knights of the Realm and Grail Knights backing him up. The Lifecaster, of course, Regrowth and Earthblood. How many questions will the Ice Bath have? I will answer 10. Alright, Skin Wolves, Norsk and Ice Wolves on the other side, both very powerful units. On a roster that's generally considered to be middling right now, or not very good at all, Skin Wolves and Norsk and Ice Wolves are fantastic. Throg the Troll King, Marauder Hunter's Javelins, lots of anti-large to deal with Bretonian, and we do have a Firecaster with Burning Head to take care of any archers, though Sharks didn't bring any, so that Burning Head is actually going to be very underwhelming. Well, we brought a second caster, though. Plague of Rust caster and a Final Transmutation caster, too. So we brought double caster, triple spell. Okay. This is Conquest mode, so Norska looks like they're going to just take the point. Sit on top of this hill. Some of their guys can be covered by trees as well, so they're not too perturbed by 3 mounted yeoman archers kiting them a bit. I don't care about that. You don't want to get cycle charged by Grail Knights over and over again. How many Skin Wolves do you have? 3. And you have Plague of Rust, but 3 Skin Wolves is still going to have a tough time versus, like, what was that, 6 Knights? 2 Grail Knights, Knights of Lionhearted, and 2 Knights of the Realm, so 5 Knights? Yeah. No. And the Knights of Lionhearted and the Grail Knights all have magic damage to go straight through your physical resistance, which is Skin Wolves, you rely on that pretty heavily. Mounted Yeoman archers just firing up into the javelins. Look like they're trying to set up position to counterfire against those guys. Sick of getting shot for free. Battle lines are drawn. Alright, as the kite wears on, I'm going to ×2 speed it until something happens. But for now, he's just using his ammo for free since Norska's happy to sit on the point. Bretonian Cav deciding to get involved. Not happy, just losing the point for free. Alberic's going to land in on these guys. It looks like he's trying to bait the Skin Wolves into a fight so that his Grail Knights and Knights of the Realm can get a rear charge onto them. And they will take the bait, but Throg is also going to be here, and this is where it gets a little risky. Wintertooth Crown recently got a buff, so if he pops it, he's going to make all these guys unbreakable and give them melee defense. But there's that leadership debuff. He didn't cast it in time, and he's not going to, as he lost the Ice Wolves. He lost the Skin Wolves. He did not pop the Wintertooth Crown, and that is a pretty big misplay from Norska. Am I incorrect? The Wintertooth Crown? Yeah, it affects all allies in range, so we definitely just needed to pop it there and didn't. Bomb Transmutation, Overcast, trying to push away Alberic, but already the Knights are in. The Skin Wolves and dogs are scattered to the wind. Other dogs also getting beat up by Knights of the Realm. We do have some Javelin Throwers trying to fight back a little bit. And in the center, something terrible has happened. The Knights of Lionhearted got destroyed. Looks like 2 Javelin Throwers plus a Skin Wolf got onto them. Regrowth should heal them up nice and fresh. Still 40 out of 60 models roughly, and Alberic is back in once more, rear charging these dogs. The Knights of the Realm getting eaten alive. Grail Knights also aren't feeling too good in this giant pileup of dogs and Skin Wolves and monstrosities. Throg thumping. Bretonia's fallen a little bit behind. Still have mounted yeomen out here shooting for whatever it's worth. Alberic needs some more knight support if anything's going to be done here. He is taking a lot of damage. Skin Wolves are nothing to fuck around with, even if you're not Plague of Rusted. I mean, these guys are tough. There's a reason they've been keeping Norska's roster afloat forever. High weapon strength, high melee attack, good bonus versus large. The Knights are all backing off, trying to get a second charge going. Knights Lionhearted come over, but immediately the Skinwolves and Dogs are back, running away. And Alberic is safe and sound. Norska holds the point. Norska holds the Bounds of Power lead, and I would definitely prefer to be them right now, as the battered Knights of Bretonnia are trying to reform lines and get some healing off. How are Grail Knights doing? That Grail Knight's very healthy. Ooh, that Grail Knight's full health. Okay, so the crucial Grail Knights are still very, very powerful. There's that Plague of Rust we talked about. Now the Dogs are trying to drag down these Grail Knights, slow them down as they run away. Only 60 armor, those guys, 4 now. But Alberic lands in on the Throg with a big Night Charge once again. They have to be careful with the Terror routes. Throg really needs to throw out that Winter Tooth Crown to keep the Marauders in the fight and give his Skinwolves more melee defense. Because that was a big change. It now affects everybody around him with plus 24 melee defense. Becomes another really nice Trident of Manon that should break both of those units and allow those Knights to go rampage on the back line. So really good cast there from Alberic. Bretonnia trying to scrap back into this game. Healing on the front line to hold it down as Throg is thumping Alberic. Alberic is a decent melee combatant, but Throg is much better if you just stand and fight him. Alberic has some better buffs and debuffs though. But as you can see, that Trident, the Discouraged, cause all these guys to flee, and now the Knights are free to run through them, chase them down if they want to, or rear charge over by Throg. And Throg, I still haven't seen the Winter Tooth Crown out of you, my guy. We could use some melee defense. We could use some Unbreakable over here. All your guys are routing. I haven't seen him use it. There it is. Now he uses it. I guess I'll assume it was on cooldown, but I don't know when he used it otherwise, because I didn't see it all game, and I've been kind of watching out for it. But it's here now. Unfortunately, a lot of his units are already routing, so it doesn't help already routing units. It just helps stop other things from joining them. As some Skimbles fight to the death next to Throg, Alberic is going to go get to safety. Norska still putting up a bit of a fight over here, and they still have the capture point, though I don't think this game is going to go long enough for the capture point to really matter. Knights Lionhearted are about dead. Norscan Ice Wolves chasing them down with abandon. Throg does take his time to fight the Damsel. He's trying to get in there. Gets a quick little kick in. We still have mounted yeoman archers, though they are running low on HP. They can still be used as dogs to just run stuff down outside the map. Let me guess, your Grail Knights? Yeah, that is a half health Grail Knight this late in the game. That's very spooky. That Grail Knight's almost dead though, so that's nice. And Alberic is still getting taxed lower and lower. Unlike Lewin, he cannot slowly heal himself. He does need dedicated healing resources from his Damsel, who's looking like she almost routed, but the peasants came to her aid, and then a rear charge in from those Knights up above. Those are just Knights of the Realm. They will still take out the Skimmels, however, as I'm being attacked by a kitty. Hi, kitty cat. I love you, and you missed me while I was on my trip, but also hello. Throg piles into the peasants. Him and his Marauders should take care of those pathetic peasant mobs. There's no Grail Relic here, nothing to keep them in the fight. And Alberic's trying to pick off one of the two casters. He's going for the metal casters, so the better of the two. The Burning Head caster is definitely inferior. Will want more Final Transmutations as this game goes on. I'd imagine you'd want Final Trans over Plague of Rust. I don't know if you have as much Plague of Rust counter attack potential right now, so you probably just want the guaranteed damage. As the Final Trans is cast, and it's overcast, but it's on the ground. It's not attached to anybody. Still gets decent damage onto Alberic as Throg is chasing him down. Throg's getting hit after hit after hit, but a rally keeps Alberic in the fight as Grail Knights charge down an isolated Throg, and they are going to straight up kill him unless something is done. It doesn't look like anything can be done, though, and I have to say that Final Transmutation was a mistake. Casting it on the ground instead of onto Alberic did save a lot of damage from the side of Bretonnia, and could that be a one miscast that loses the entire game as an Earthblood comes out to heal the Bretonnian Lord and their elite knights? Throg gets completely bodied without support, and his Marauders are starting to arrive now, but he is already routed, and with him goes the capacity to actually kill Alberic. Norska's Lord is about to get sniped out. Their leadership problems are going to get even worse, and just like that, the bounce of power turns on a dime. One mistake could cost you everything. Big JP's asking about Ed. Ed is good. Ed is good. Damn. Yeah, Olaf in the chat saying you missed that Final Trans so bad. It was brutal. It was brutal. Oh well, games are on a knife's edge. Obviously, there are blowouts, but there are games like that where it's like, I mean, one side can be favored, but a mistake costs you literally everything. Throg did decently. The double casters was a good little trick, because the Burning Headcaster ended up not being that useful, but if there were archers, then it would have been pretty great. The Dogs and Skinwolf play was fantastic. Just loved all of that for Charix. Alberic played very well. Close to the line in several areas, but he was risking it for a lot of rewards, so I guess that worked out. Grell Knights did their jobs, and Mounted Yeoman Archers all paid for themselves. GG. That's a Charix win, so I gotta delete that and give Charix his point. Give Charix his point. Don't forget to give Charix the point, but let's go through a 2v2 while I do that. RTK gets a point from Charix. That makes the score 3-4. Greenskins versus Vampire Counts and Kislev. Greenskins and Bretonnia, I should say. Vicious Satsuma makes his return for RTK. Haven't seen him since Age of Empires 2 claimed his soul. His Necromancer pops in with the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, sir. And let's do it. For XMT, we have Kislev bringing a front line of Kossar's Spears, the Wolfheart's Auction Ambushers, other Auction Ambushers as well. Kislevite Warriors up in the front line, and then we do have an Ice Witch of Ice with just Icemane's Kiss and her Snow Leopard summon. She is on her Frostworm. Do have one Warbear Rider. Do I see 2? No, but I do see a little Grom. So Kislev brought the infantry. For the Vampire Coast, handgun mobs, pistol mobs, animated hulks, a lot of monstrous things. Animated hulks over there, Lamper's Revenge here. We have 2 mortars, the Shade Wraith Gunners, a 3rd mortar as well. Heavy on the mortars. Then Noctilus on his peg leg. Cool. For the other side of RTK here, Bretonnia once again. This time with a Grail Leak to buff up some greenskin front lines. Battle Pilgrims and Men-at-Arms up on the high ground. A lot of archers for them. Knights of the Realm, Mounted Yeoman, more Knights of the Realm, and then the Fey Enchantress with Earthblood and Awakening of the Wood. So not so elite knights from the Bretonians, just mid-tier knights, mid-tier infantry, a lot of archers and healing to help out the greenskins a bit. For the greenskins, we have Savage Orc Biggins, Orc Boys, Goblins, more Orc Boys, Savage Orc Biggins. So the greenskins brought a lot of beef, some Savage Orc Arg Boys, a couple Orc Borba Biggins. We do have an Orc Shaman with Here We Go and Brain Bursta, and then a Night Goblin Warboss with just Fermented Fungi. Just the Rampage. Both sides going very heavy on the medium infantry. Heavy on the medium. I think the first Rampage is going to have to go onto these Warbear Riders. Just bait them into a bad situation where they're sitting on top of like Savage Orc Biggins while getting shot by all these archers. That could be pretty huge to take them out. But the mortar fire is already going to be a little intense. In they go. Noctilus and the mortars and Little Grom making these goblins pay. The greenskins are having a bad time of it. Bretonnia seems to be getting off pretty easily, losing 1 Men-at-Arm before the front lines hit. The greenskins are much more at a loss here. As the Savage Orc Biggins hit the Kislevite Warriors. It should be a rather one-sided affair in the favor of the Savage Orc Biggins, but with a lot of supporting fire, who knows? I mean, that is a ton of archers nearby. It's just the archer fight. Both sides brought a ton of shooting. There's the Awakening of the Wood, disrupting Auction Ambushers a little bit, but already we can see 2 of the Bretonian peasant archers are thinking about leaving. Elsewhere for the greenskins, the Orc boys are proving a little more resilient to the mortar fire. They're hanging on. And this is actually going pretty well for the greenskins. Savage Orc Biggins and Orc Borba Biggins getting a good fight with the Warbear Rider. And I think they're about to get Here We Go. Yeah, Here We Go. That's going to be insane. 6-2 melee attack for the Orc Borba Biggins. 90 for the Savage Orcs. Yeah, immediately the Warbear Riders have to run for it. But that means they will be getting attacked in the back the whole time that they do it. Savage Orcs cleaving through the Kislevite Warriors. Noctilus is trying to hold it down with some extra summons. We're already losing Kossars. As the melee tide carries on, Knights of the Realm going to try and find something to do. Very nice rear charge onto Kizilite Warriors, as if that mattered. They're unbreakable. The Enchantress's Chalice Potion is coming down on a 2-for-1 spot. I want to see it. Nice 2-for-1. That's the hardest part about 2v2s, is keeping your lines separate, because it's hard to explain to your cohort that they're in your way. Do lore passives help allied units too? Yes. Mounted Yeomen charging for a suicide run onto the mortars. These are just mounted yeomen. They are 400 gold cheap cavalry. And I'm very concerned for the red team, honestly. The green team's getting a lot of what they wanted. They're taking damage, sure, but they're getting through that front line. And pretty soon, when the range units start getting disrupted, that bounce power is going to sink. So we'll see how long they can stay up and at them as the Shade Wraith Gunners and mortars continue to keep things routing. Zombies and Kizlevites continue to hold. Give that backline time to shoot. Mortars and the Shade Wraith Gunners doing a lot of damage. Little Grom firing at something, I presume. I presume that's what he's about. This is probably a bait. These archers are going to get some decent shots onto Noctilus, but I doubt they'll kill him. Ooh, with the Rampage, that's actually probably going to be pretty worth it. I mean, you are sitting in front of 3 archers. That's a lot of damage. Love that. Love that for you. As the Warbear Riders were eventually hunted down by those Orc Boar Boys we were mentioning earlier, Savage Orc Biggins rejoin the battle against the animated Hulks, with Knights of the Realm also there, so they really just want to get through those Hulks. And the Rampage is already worn off, and the Savage Orc Armor Boys are not doing as much to Noctilus as I would have thought, but there they go. They're starting to get some oomph. Starting to get some juice. Greenskins and their Bretonnian allies pull ahead on the balance of power. As I was saying, now that those range units are getting shut down, we're seeing that balance power swing pretty wildly. There's a lot of ammunition getting pushed off the field, and ammunition is people too. More summons out from Noctilus to try and buy himself a little bit of time as he is fighting the Night Goblin War Boss. Getting shots in here and there. Archers continue to poke him. Invocation Act healing him up, and still not really enough. As the Savage Orcs take down a mortar. We've also lost some Kizilite warriors. Our Kossars are leaving. And it's getting pretty bad for the red team here. Pretty bad. Zinj Cultists should be really good for team games. Yeah, we had Zinj Cultists. Yep, Zinj Cultists did great. Alright, the remnants of the Greenskin Archers are still poking at Noctilus, who has still been in this fight for a while. Noctilus' summons are all over the damn place, causing disruption and chaos on a scale untold. But he is still taking a lot of damage. The Fey Enchantress got sniped out quite badly by the Ice Witch of Ice. And the Greenskins don't have any healing to help her out, so if she's going to get back on this map, it has to be on her own 2 feet, and then she has to Earthblood herself. As the Ice Witch is trying to get in here. Not a lot the Greenskins and Bretonnia can do to peel for her, but it looks like they're trying to with these Knights of the Realm. Faye's gonna go get to safety. We'll see if she can get an Earthblood. She needs 1. Noctilus shot in the back. She's not getting Earthblood. It's not gonna happen. She's not rallying at 37 HP. But another Fermented Fungi rampages Noctilus back into all that Archer fire that have just been consistently poking him. I'm so curious about their values. 737. 573, 596. Yeah, it's pretty good. Noctilus is going down hard. He's starting to crumble, which means he can't Invocation Heck himself. Frostworm Lady is still full HP. Without Noctilus, all those summons over there were going to fade away anyway. Little Grom's about dead. Lampish Revenge will all of a sudden take a leadership spike and start crumbling faster. And just like, look at how many Greenskin units there still are. Look at them all. That's a tide of green and blue. This is 1 Frostworm. Noctilus is officially dead, and with that, we see a bunch of units start to disintegrate. Army losses hits. That is GG. RTK get a point. It's tied up. It's all tied up. Oh, nope, it's not 34-4. That's silly. That's silly. The tenacity of the Green Boy Rush. Hey, Prussian Prince was here too. Didn't catch who these side players were. So we have Inkar's playing with its current year, and then Satsuma playing with Prussian Prince, which I haven't seen Prussian in forever. What up, dude? That was nice. That was nice. I still think mortars suck, dude. I hate them. I despise mortars. For its current years, Lord did well. Nothing else did. Nothing. This is BO9. BO like 15. Alright. Alcrawl versus XMT, the Undying King. I don't know who that is. I do not want to know who that is. Why do mortars suck? Not enough damage, not accurate enough, they don't fire fast enough. They like never pay for themselves. And then people tell me you unironically have to bring 3 mortars, triple gold chevron, and all shoot at the same thing. And I'm like, yeah, that seems like a waste of your money. Because you're never going to get enough damage out quickly enough to pay for 3 triple gold chevron mortars. Twilight Harbinger? Gotcha. Alright, for all Graal's Khorne, you have Karanak, Triple Marauder Horseman Throwing Axes, Valkyrie the Bloody, and then Bloodletter front line backed up by 2 Minotaurs Great Weapons. On the other side, for the Vampire Counts, front line of Zombies, backed up by Graveguard. Double Blood Knight? No. 1 Blood Knight, Crypt Horrors, Vargeist, Dire Pack, and we do have a Master Necromancer in the sky with Invocation Heck and Van Hels's Dan's Macabre as well as Raised Dead. Interesting. I guess they go the Master Necromancer just to keep it super cheap, but still. But still. You hate to see it. Khorne's looking to be doing a little bit of kiting. Just a little bit. Their Bloodletters and Minos are moving up. They don't have double skull cannons. It's not like they can kite ad nauseum. And there are a lot of zombies to kill. Charge up the Blood God passive. Master Necromancer, we're XMT after all. It's true. We're the extreme meme team. Don't know how you're gonna kill these Bloodletters, bruh. Bloodletters catching up to the zombies. We do not have Mortis Engine. We don't have breath attacks from dragons, so I don't know how they're gonna kill the Bloodletters. These 3 Bloodletters are they're killing 3 zombies for free. Which is not that zombies are gonna miss, it's the fact that you're giving the Bloodletters the kills, so they get their little Hellblade things. So they're getting their Hellblade for free, and they're getting a bunch of Khorne army passive. So I'm concerned about that. Graveguard saunter in now, but they are outmatched by the Bloodletters as well. And so far, Khorne is very happy with how this early game is going. Crypt Horror is trying to find a fight. One of them did get stuck in over here. The rest are a little more unsure. Blood Knights are out and about, but they don't want to fight Minotaurs on their own. They definitely don't want to fight Minotaurs on top of Bloodletters. So I am a little concerned. The Minos are going to pile in. Vargas are going to rear charge them, so that'll be a good little sandwich, but I still wonder who comes out on top when they're fighting on top of Bloodletters. And Karanak's out there. He's not able to stay on the Master Necromancer. Vargas do land in. It looks like they're actually attacking the Bloodletters, because the Minos aren't taking any damage. It's the Bloodletters that are taking it all. So trying to kill those guys off. Spirit Slop near down the line to free up Valkyrie a little bit. Doesn't do as much damage as she would have liked, however. Khorne is about to start losing one of their Bloodletters. Blood Knights charge back in to get another fight with the Minotaurs of Khorne. Don't know how much damage they're going to do. Minos of Khorne are a little spoopy. Looks like that charge is blunted somewhat. Throwing axes firing freely. That fire damage is going to come in use when it's trying to stop the Unholy Lodestone from healing anybody up for anything, ever. The Crypt Horrors hold the central point now. I'm concerned, though. I'd rather be Khorne at the moment. Ooh, yeah, did you see that nice Sword of Khorne in the background? Hit 2 monstrous units, did some beast damage there. Also took out an entire graveyard with great weapons. Damn. Van Hels's Dan's Macabre overcast onto these already dying units as they're getting skirmished out. The Bloodletters are just going to fight to the very end, and they will die. Looks like a lot of Vampire Counts units will be joining them in the grave. Karanak, however, taking a lot of damage. Blood Knight surrounding him, the Dire Pack keeping him down. Karanak is not having a good time. He's an expensive piece to lose. He is demonic, so it looks like any second now he is about to fade away into nothingness. How can Immortus survive against 3 Cav? You'd need Blood Knights and Vargeist to peel for it. Anyway, Vargeist and Crypt Horrors stuck fighting the Minotaurs and Blood Letters. They are gonna maybe win just by sheer force of bodies. There's an awful lot of them left, but Alokral gets a rear charge in with his skirmish cav, throwing flaming axes all the way, and Blood Knights try and hunt those guys down. Master Necromancer's still up in the sky, still pretty healthy. Ooh, Minos are isolating out the beloved corpse cart, however. Still 3 Blood Letters. One of them is healthy. Still have 2 Minotaurs, one of them is healthy. Valkyria's very healthy, and then all 3 skirmish cav are quite healthy. For the Vampire Counts, we do not have a lot that is healthy. The Master Necromancer and I guess a Graveguard. Still a lot of stuff, but it needs significant healing if it's going to withstand. It doesn't look like it's going to get it, as those Crypt Horrors and Vargas are fading away before our very eyes. Enough Skelly boys on the field for a Sword of Corn. We already got 1 Sword of Corn. I don't think we'll get a second one. Killed an awful lot of these guys. Tier 2 army ability cast on the Minotaurs of Corn, make them unbreakable as they finish off Crypt Horrors and more Crypt Horrors. I guess the counts have been ticking up victory points this whole time. Rear charge in from Blood Knights might get the Bloodletter's demonic instability crumble. Might is a key word. Doing a lot of work in that sentence. Full health on that Bloodletter. I think Corn's got it. They are losing 2 Bloodletters as we speak. They're gonna lose a Minotaur. They still have Valkyria. Still have 3 skirmish cav. They still have a pretty healthy Bloodletter. And the counts just don't have much left. It's less that I think what Corn has is amazing, and more that I think the counts have nothing left in the tank. Very nice spear. As the last of the Blood Knights charge Minos, they will die. They'll die gloriously, but they will die. Hey, Dav. How you doing? David, I have to say that's the Count's special. Counts just don't deal a lot of damage with their units that isn't their lord. Vargeist in a super perfect situation you could get good damage out, but everything else is really lackluster right now. You hate to see it. Last, the Graveguard are dying, that Zombie Summon is dying, and the Master Necromancer can't do too much here. This Corn has captured the point, Valky is holding him off, and I don't see how the counts can win. Yeah. The Master Necromancer wanted nothing to do with Valky, as he was like, never mind, I'm just gonna quit. I'm gonna quit. 0 value in the Master Necromancer. He was just casting supportively. Vargeists. Minos did fantastic. Bloodletters did pretty well at just clearing out zombies and getting up army passive. I don't think VC are a good choice versus Corn. Generally not. Corn kind of outblob them. That was Ulrich's win? Yes, it was. Stream just crashed for you. I don't have issues on my end. Okay. Let's keep it going. Still got some replays to get through. RTK Stingers versus Olaf the Moose. High Elves and Grand Cathay. Stinger is going with the old Kite Cathay strategy. I am not super confident in it. It's cool. I don't know if it'll work. I found the best thing to do versus Cathay as High Elves, back when this matchup was somewhat common, was use like double birds and just annoy them while kiting, but this is more straight up rush while kiting. Huh. Anyway, for the High Elves, we have some Illyrian Reaver Archers, Ranger frontline. Rangers did get recently buffed. Triple Shadow Warriors. We do have an Archmage of Life with Awakening the Wood and Earthblood. Then some Dragon Princes and War Lions. Pretty straightforward build from the High Elves. I'm a little worried it lacks DPS, but we'll see. For Grand Cathay, we have the Emperor's Crowman, Zhao Ming with his Breath Attack. And then a frontline of Jade Warriors, backed up by Peasant Long Spears in a box formation. Nothing new there for Cathay. 2 Celestial Dragon Crossbows, 2 Crane Gunners, and an Alchemist of Final Transmutation casting. Interesting. We'll see how good the Celestial Dragon Crossbows do. I'm a little concerned. Crane Gunners, in the meantime, are going to make the Shadow Warriors pay. The Shadow Warriors are just now getting into range, but you can see that they take so much damage on the trade that I think even if they fire back in the Crane Gunners, they'll probably lose. Silver Shields, yeah. Now, 3 Shadow Warriors should do fine with the Crane Gunners, but they're going to take a lot of damage for it. And Zhao Ming is going to get Breath Attacks out. Time is not a friend of the High Elves. Celestial Dragon Crossbows firing their double shot crossbow bolts into the War Lions of Prey. So Awakening the Wood trying to break the charge defense of the Jade Warriors just as the Lions hit. Slamming into them. Getting a fair bit of damage out as the Crane Gunners continue to do their grisly work. Cleaning up Shadow Warriors. And the Shadow Warriors have been forced back to the trees. They're not really able to keep counterfiring the Crane Gunners that well. Celestial Dragon Crossbows try and turn and kill the Skirmish Cav. I'm actually very curious how much this volley does. Yeah, pretty fair bit. Pretty fair bit. The archers get pushed back by War Lions. Crane Gunners just going to keep firing at point blank range. They're shooting at Shadow Warriors, not the War Lions, but it does look like they're shooting at the War Lions. And sometimes looks are all that matters. There we go. 2v1 Shadow Walker shots. Warrior? Walker. Warrior. And the Illyrian Reaver shooting him from behind. 30 armor, Silver Shield. Silver Shield only faces one way, so they will get slowly picked off. But the Hives are just taking too much damage. Their Rangers are in tatters. Their Shadow Warriors are down to 1 healthy model. The rest are in trouble. Dragon Princes haven't gotten out scot-free either. We still have 2 Celestial Dragon Crossbows to deal with, and a half-health Crane Gunner. Shadow Warriors trying to kill the other Crane Gunners so they can get some range superiority and at least start dictating the pace of this game. Don't know if it's going to be enough as the last healthy Dragon Prince charges in. Onyx Crowman going to try and cut this off as a Breath Attack kills off more Rangers, but it doesn't look like the Peasant Spears will hold. Yes, they will, because the Onyx Crowman provided the Harmony buff, keeping those Peasants in it for an absurdly long time. Go, Peasants, go. Dragon Princes are forced back. Crane Gunner's really determined not to be cool about this. Gonna take out another Shadow Warrior. Big old blob of high alpha units is forming on the front line, and the Cathayans just aren't breaking at all. They aren't going anywhere. Onyx Crowman finally do fade away. Cathay continues to fire, man. Nice Breath Attack overall. Did nick your own Peasant Spit. Feels rude, but gets the job done, I suppose. Rangers routing yet again. Zhao Ming trying to chase some of the healthier cavalry. So you see, these Dragon Princes are extremely wounded, as are the War Lions. Okay. Those Dragon Crossmen doing their best. I don't know what the High Elves can do. Phase too powerful for the likes of them. Honestly, if Archmage routes to Zhao Ming, that's probably just GG. Do we have a final transmutation? Yes, no, no, yes, no. No, looks like no. Still have one Crane Gunner up, which is pretty bad. You can keep putting out DPS on anything he feels like it. One Shadow Warrior is still full HP with only 4 shots left, however. That is a little less exciting. Awakening the Wood gets a little bit of damage out, but a Flame Breath in return takes care of another Ranger. You can't stop Cathay. They're too good. Honestly, if you focus all your firepower onto the Dragon Prince that's still healthy. Okay, there isn't one? Never mind, I was going to say that would army loss, but... Turns out all the Dragon Princes are dead. Still have a Crane Gunner, still have 2 Celestial Dragon Crossbows. Still have Zhao Ming. That is really brutal. Meow. Meow, meow, meow. Good charge animation. It's cool. Has issues with hitting things. Army loss is right around the corner. It's because they forms up yet again. Spears on top of bows, boys. Spears on top of bows. There's the army losses. I was curious if it was coming. XMT ties it back up. 5-5. Good job, Olaf. Good win. Just going through the High Valley, I don't see anything too crazy. For Olaf, they're also pretty controlled. Crane Gunners and Celestial Dragon Crossbows all putting in around the same work. GG. So that should be 5-5. And if I'm correct, that means there's 5 games left. There are 5 games left. Alright, I need water while the next one loads up, so I'm going to go do that. I'm going to grab some water. We have some 2v2s though, so don't get too comfy. This is RTK Drakens and Martinius versus Ratman Filth and Stormrunner. I don't know who Ratman Filth is, but he changed his name, so it's probably Wicked. Okay, goodbye forever. Okay, I didn't miss anything. We back. We back, son. So for RTK, we have the Warriors of Chaos working with the Wood Elves. That's not a match made in heaven. Front line of Marauders backed up by Dryads. We have Durthu, the unstoppable killing machine out front. He's been the conversation piece for the last month about what to do about him. Hoping the next patch just nerfs him a bit for once. A lot of Eternal Guard, Glade Guard as well. We have triple Rot Knight, one of which is the Rotting Riders, Armored Chaos Trolls, and some Glade Riders and Spears in the back. We do have Festus Leech Lord. No Fleshy Abundance, just Stream Corruption, and Miasma of Pestilence. 9 games left? What? I thought there was only 5. Big JP, are you lying to me? You trolling me? Replays. Hold on, I might be getting trolled. Oh shit, there are 9 games left. Cool. For some reason, my autosave was cutting them in half. Alright, on the other side, we have Bretonnia and the Skaven. That is a lot of range. Bretonnia brought archers and peasants for their front line. Some spearmen at arms, too. Knights of the Realm, Knights of the Lionhearted, pairing up with a Packmaster, Wolf Rats, Pegasus Knights, King Lewin up in the sky, Poison Wind Globes, a Damsel of Life, a Chieftain, Gracia of Ruin, Death Globe Bombardiers. It's just Death Globes. Okay. And then Rat Ogres. So a lot of globes. A lot of globes. Just tuned in and no Hazel. Who does this guy think he is? Hazel's behind me. The camera's just off. Armored Chaos Trolls pushing through a round of Poison Wind. So the Dryads behind them take some damage. And the Bretonnian Archers have already suffered a lot of fury at the hands of the Wood Elves, but the Wood Elves need to get moving. The Wood Elves do not seem to have gotten the memo that their Dryads need to be moving up and putting pressure on. In fact, we have a couple slippages here. We have some AFK units on the side of Chaos and the Wood Elves. Dogs are forced back as Bretonnians try and set up a side shot, but we will need Rotting Riders to charge against them. Lewin lands to disrupt these guys, and they're just going to opt out instead. A little worried about these Bretonnians in the back. Where's Durthu? Durthu's in the middle of things, just causing disruption. The Rotting Riders turn and fight against Knights of the Realm. That is going to be a really good fight for them. Overall, yeah, actually, that's going to be a fantastic fight for those guys. Frontline fight does appear to be going to Warriors of Chaos and the Wood Elves. The Skaven having to fall back. They are getting some damage out here and there still, but that is a lot of routing units for them. Bretonnia's front line doesn't hold very long either. So Royal Pegasus Knights get a rear charge on the Rotting Riders. There's no support for these guys back here. Festus fucked off. It's not his problem. These guys actually have a pretty clean shot into the back of these Knights of the Realm and Knights of the Lionhearted. Should be good damage, especially as they're fighting on top of Wood Elf Spears. And Archers. Skaven bells are tolling from the Grey Seer to try and keep these guys in the fight. But Durthu is not to be deterred. It looks like he's walking after the Grey Seer with reckless abandon. Marauders chasing down globes beneath me, behind me, whatever you want to call it. As Knights of the Realm continue to get chased through by the Rotting Riders. Even some Chaos Trolls came back to deal with them. Looks like the Wood Elves really want to save their Archers. Pretty happy with their Archer superiority. Want to keep those guys online. Meanwhile, Festus is back here. And he has his healing aura popped, plus the Rotting Riders are slowly healing from their own regeneration. Really trying to keep these guys in the fight, and there's a Miasma of Pestilence. Just as one of the Rot Knights breaks, the Rotting Riders have not, however. And 19 melee attack against their 59 melee defense is nothing to scoff at. The Pegasus Knights are going to take a lot of damage, and in come the Wood Elf supporting units. Can anyone save the Rotting Riders so they can keep their 20% damage resistance? I think it only lasts as long as they haven't broke. It's 15, but you get my point. So the Rotting Riders hold, Pegasus Knights fold. Dreaded 13th cast was out. Did some damage to these Knights and a couple of the Glade Guard near them, but Dryads and all these Marauders closing in on the summoned Halberd. It's not going to get very far. So for the red team, the Skaven and Bretonnia, they're relying on their single entities. We still have a Packmaster, Chieftain, and Grey Seer. Lewin is very healthy, and the Damsel of Life is going to get away and get to safety. Meanwhile, for Durthu's team, there's a lot more width left. I mean, Durthu himself is very scary. Festus is also very scary, but those are their only two single entities they took. Other than that, they still have some archers I can see in the distance that are healthy. A lot of spears. Skaven try and gang up on the Armored Chaos Trolls, who are going to fight back with Tooth and Nail, Blood and Claw. There go the last of the Bretonnian Knights. Royal Pegasus Knights trying to hold next to Lewin, but still we have these Rotting Riders that are just slowly healing up with the healing elixirs. And there's a lot of spears. Did I mention all the spears? Because there's a lot of spears. Grey Seer now trapped in Rot Knights and the Armored Chaos Trolls. There's a lot of armor piercing, and Durthu is lurking nearby, waddling over. Meanwhile, like I said before, the Skaven just seem to be in mass disarray. They're running all over the place. Same with the Bretonnians. They are relying on their Hero Hammer, and their Hero Hammer isn't that good. So the Damsels about to get routed again. No more life casting for you. which gets pushed away. Gracier's going to route. That is army losses for the Skaven. That probably takes Bretonnia with them just behind. That is GG. There's no way Lewin fights back against Durthu and all this stuff. Are we yelling at the dogs again today? No, they did okay. Durthu did fine. He was like still full HP at the end of the game. Good value for Drakens. For Martinius, his Marauders did okay. His Rot Knights did very, very well for themselves. This side Stormrunner, not crazy value on anything from Bretonnia, I don't think. Yeah, Royal Pegasus Knights did alright. Then for Ratman Filth, the Skaven Hero Hammer is not what some would have you believe. It is not very good. GG. Okay. So that is an RTK win. And then this one is here. Hot Fire Potato on Greenskins versus Contrarian Codex on the Skaven. If that's Azhag on foot, this is similar-ish to my build. If that's Azhag in the sky, that is not like my build at all. Yeah, Azhag in the sky, I feel like he's just a waste of money. It's way too expensive to take him in the sky. I take him on foot. Okay, for Hot Fire Potato, we have a Savage Orc frontline, backed up by Azhag in the sky with Spirit Leech and Fate of Buna. 4 Squig Herds, some Trolls. One is a River Troll ROR, the other is a Stone Troll. Triple Savage Orc RR Boy, more Grismage Marauders, and 2 Orc Boarboy Biggins. For the Skaven, we have 2 Plague Monk Sensor Bears, one of which is the ROR Blight Scabs Plague Pack. Triple Clan Rat Spears, some Rat Ogres, more Rat Ogres in the back. Skaven Slaves and Night Runners there. Triple Poisonman Globe, the Packmaster, and a Gracia with just the Dread 13th and Warp Lightning. So globes are in, getting nasty fire down onto the Orcs. Don't friendly fire your own Blight Scabs Plague Packs, but as those guys fight back, they'll do fine with the Savage Orcs. Arm Piercing is a bit wasted, but they do outstat the Savage Orcs pretty heavily. Greenskin's still trying to set up the surround, but unfortunately the front line's already started, and Skaven front lines don't last long one way or the other. You break quick, or you kill the enemy very quick. Storm Vermin summon in the middle of a Squig Herd and 2 Trolls. That is going to do really good damage while the globes continue to pour in fire. And now those hapless Trolls are just stuck in a lot of damage and sitting on top of halberds. Rat Ogres and Plague Monks have broken through. They can go harass the archers. Greenskins are in mass disarray, and Azhag hasn't gotten to do anything, which is largely why I don't like him on his Wyvern in this matchup. I just want to keep him on foot and keep him cheap. Fun. Just want to keep him cheap, because he can't, like, land. He'll still die instantly if he lands. He doesn't have that much more HP, so Flensing Ruin will still kill him. For the Greenskins, this game isn't going to last very long, so you generally want to, like, hit them once and be done with it. I don't know. If you're waiting for, like, Azhag will die in 4 Flensing Ruins and not 3, it's not going to get to 4 Flensing Ruins or 3. Game's going to be over fast one way or the other. Orc Boar Biggins broken by the terror of the Packmaster, plus a backup of Rat Ogres. In the back, we do have some Boarboy Biggins trying to get into the back line, but they are now intercepted by Rat Ogres and they're getting hit by globes. Elsewhere, the Greenskin lines are in complete disarray. If we can just get some Skaven stuff out here to keep chasing those R boys, you'll get a lot of damage value out. A lot. Azhag now getting shot by Night Runners, attacked by Rat Ogres. Looks like the Skaven just need to clean up a bunch of random Greenskins to get army loss to proc. I don't know if they can fight Azhag. I don't know if it's worth it. They don't have a lot of halberds left. Done a ton of Rat Ogres that aren't busy doing other things. There's a Spirit Leech for the Gracia. Oop, second Wah. This is probably the Greenskin's last breath. They need to make some serious progress with this Wah. If they don't, they're doomed. Because the Stone Troll's going to rout as soon as the Wah wears off. They'll tear her out away from the Packmaster. Easy peasy. Wah is still going. Wah is still going. Azhag's trying to hunt down some Gracier booty. The Wah is gone, though, and there goes the tear out for the Trolls, which takes the Squigs with them. And this momentum is about to break. Still have some globes. Still have a nice... Ooh, Dreaded 13th onto those... What are they, Clan Rats? Skaven Slaves. Alright, little damage on your own Skaven Slaves. We took out a Savage Orc and an Orc Warrior big in for it, and you have a Halberd running around. Azhag's HP is the only thing keeping the bounce power on. Army lost its territory. That is not going to be ideal. I love all these globes just throwing at Azhag, like, fuck it, just get rid of Azhag. If we get rid of him, we win. Even if it means throwing globes at a single entity. Spirit Lich onto the Gracier, just trying to keep the bounce power in a spot where the Greenskins keep playing, but at last it is too much. And they lose. They depart. Those aren't kill counts you want to see. Greenskins versus Skaven, and they trade about even man for man. Been around, seeing if any values really catch my eye. Plague Monks did fine. Night Runners did very well. Globes did pretty well. Rat Ogres did very well. GG. GG. That one goes to XMT. Score is 6-6. Stormrunner versus Thorasin. Nurgle and Dark Elves. Stormrunner taking Lokir Fellheart. Oi! Playing with my emotions. For Nurgle of Thorasin, we have some Plague Ogres with great weapons, triple Plague Toads of Nurgle, then some Forsaken and Marauders. I don't know why RTK keep taking Plague Ogres, but okay. We have the Noxbringer, Soulgrinder ROR, and a Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Nurgle with Fleshy Abundance and Stream of Corruption. You know, side for the Dark Elves, Stormrunner and XMT, a Bleak Sword front line backed up by some Cold Knights, 2 Shades, Lokir Fellheart on, isn't it Maelstrom? Isn't that his dragon's name? Anyway, he's fully kitted out. We have Burning Head, Flaming Sword of Ruin, and Cascading Firecloak, and then some Harpies. Cool. Really good shot in from the Soul Grinder. And they fall back. Everyone stop revealing how busted Lokir is. He's the reason they win ladder. He's not busted. I wouldn't even say he's good. I like the flanking Harpies. They're like, don't worry guys, we'll get the Nurgle Archers, don't you worry. We'll get them. Soul Grinder gets another good shot on the Bleak Swords as Nurgle starts to get involved. Plague Toads plus Marauders should beat up Bleak Swords pretty quickly, especially if Murderous Prowess doesn't get time to pop. I don't know what Lokir will do. I doubt I'll just let this happen. There's a nice Burning Head down the line. Good damage, gonna bounce off the wall, might do extra good damage. Nope. Just goes off into nowhere. Okay. Plague Toads lost their Marauder compatriots. They're almost done with the Bleak Swords. Elsewhere, Forsaken churned through that front line. Unfortunately, we have left some Shades behind. You can see in the very far distance those Shades being left there. Good breath attack onto the Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Nurgle. Those shades are gonna have to move up if they're gonna participate in this battle. Looks like they are starting to get here now. 2 Coldwood Knights lining up, trying to find a way into the backfield. Plague Ogres want none of it. They're gonna run away. Okay. Kind of surprised Lokir is playing this so timidly, but doesn't want to overextend. I guess I can understand that. As the Poxbringer is going to keep shooting. Chaos Knights taking them out model at a time. Every shot, 1 model. He's gonna do it. He's gonna fire again. Go get him! No, he's going into melee. No. All right, Lokir, you got to do something. Dark Riders are in. Cascading Fire Cloak is in to help out a little bit. Lokir is hovering above. Looks like he's going for breath attack onto the enemy Lord, who did go underneath him. So it looks like it kind of canceled. I didn't see any damage come out of that one, unfortunately for him. Lokir is going to land in at last, and we have a big old blob fight. Though those are Plague Ogres, triple Plague Ogres. One even getting a rear charge on the Coldwood Knights. Yeah, the Coldwood Knights immediately rout. Second one's going to go too soon unless Lokir does something, which I don't know what he could do. Help them against a Plague Ogre surround. Hell, an Ogre surround is depressing, but then when they're puking on you, it's just worse. Just flat out worse. Alright, Lokir is now surrounded by Plague Ogres. He's going to get slowly whittled down. He was not able to snipe out the Nurgle caster. And in the distance, Nurgle forces are chasing down the Shades. Shades save themselves from a Plague Toad, but they won't save themselves from Forsaken. Forsaken are Forsaken. They're not footless. He's a tremendous duelist. He needs to do that. He needs to do what? He needs to do what? Suck and die? No, he's still fighting the Plague Ogres. He's just really in over his head. Noxbringer's back. Everybody team up on poor Lokir, who's actually getting close to routing. And that is a big overcasted fleshy abundance that affects all 4 units in that little circle. Yes, it is. Ooh, that's nice. I actually like that a lot. Good burning head. It's not going to do much damage to the Plague Ogres, but it cuts off their healing. Nurgle wins. Dark Elf player withdraws, seeing it was not going Lokir's way. Lokir did technically okay. Shades did alright. Cold Knights and Dark Riders struggled, so did the Harpies. On the other side for Taurus, his Lord didn't have to do much. Plague Ogres did very well. That's about it. Perfectly fine with this outcome. Lokir's trash. Lokir is trash. Okay, well, he's not trash, but he's not good. There's a lot better options. There are the better options out there. Alright, we have another 2v2. Flame Master and Nurgle's PA versus Contrarian Codex and the Undying King. King of Undeath. Let's do it. Let's do it, son. Score is 6-7. RTK is up. High Elves and Demons of Chaos versus Chaos Dwarves and Tomb Kings. I suspect we'll be seeing a lot of single entities here. Because I already see the Iron Demon and I see the Iron Demon healing guy. I suspect we'll also see 2 kitty cats. For the High Elves and Demons of Chaos, we have an Exalted Lord of Change and Khorne's Bloody Fist. Exalted Lord of Change brought just final transmutation. Chaos Furies of Slaanesh for their armor-piercing frontline of Nurglings, Bloodletters behind them, and then some Seekers. Okay. Yeah, a lot of Seekers and Fiends. For the High Elves, Archmage of Life to heal up the demons. Lyran Reaver Archers for a bit of oomph. More Lyran Reavers. Spearmen and White Lions of Krace for a lot of infantry. A Star Dragon. And that is it. So 2 dragons for one side. The other side for the Chaos Dwarves and Tomb Kings combo. We have Cetra on his cat. I don't see another cat though, so what's wrong about that? Just one cat. Necropolis Knights with Halberds, a whole bunch of Skeleton Horsemen Archers, Ushapti Greatbows, 3 of them, one of which is the Chosen of the Gods. And then for the Chaos Dwarves, that is Blunderbusses, one of which is the Granite Guard, some Fireglaves, Zatan on his Lamasu, the Demon's Tongue, Dreadquake Mortar, ROR, and Demon Sorcerer Metal with just Final Transmutation and his heal. Okay. Camera is set here. I'm gonna do some stretches. Ha, 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 ha. Been sitting all day with cars and then planes and then cars and then streaming. So we're gonna stand up. We're gonna do a little dance. We're gonna do a little jig. This Dreadquake Mortar fires into some Nurglings. Well, its mortar shot actually goes into Spearman behind it, so it's gonna do decent. Not as much damage as I thought to the Spearman. It's not even gonna charge the Nurglings. Wow. That's sad. What's going on over here? Star Dragon's thinking about getting involved. Ushapti gonna keep him at bay, keep him honest. Dreadquake Mortar gets another shot out. This time it's more centered. Still, yeah, solid damage. Love that. And Zatan uses his first net Sadistic Snare onto the Khorne's Bloody Fist as Granite Guard try and get in range to shoot. It is technically in range, but they're firing at an angle, which can make them just sit around and do literally nothing. In comes 2 Blunderbusses firing. But yeah, the Granite Guard are doing that bug. Well, it's like kind of bug, not a bug, but if something's not directly facing its target, it'll just sit there and do nothing, and that's really annoying and frustrating. So Khorne's Bloody Fist taking some damage, but not as much as he could be. As, Demon's Tongue shot almost takes out a Seeker. There we go, the Seeker is gone. The Fiends were feeling pretty bad, and now a whole bunch of Skeleton Horsemen are going to lock down these Fiends while the Tomb Kings and them figure out what to do. Final Transmutation on the Archmage of Shadows while she is sitting right... Archmage of Life, sorry. She's sitting right in front of Ushapti Greatbows and Blunderbusses. That is going to be a lot of damage onto her as the Chosen Gods are chasing her off. She's not enjoying that, while this guy is still going absolutely nuts. Wherever he goes, everything dies. Demon's Sorcerer dives in on the Khorne's Bloody Fist. Bold to take that fight, but I guess it is working out for him. And the red team is quite up on balance of power. Infernal Guard, Fireglaves stepping back. The High front line is getting through pretty easily. Skeleton Warriors and Hobgoblin Laborers, or Goblin Laborers, don't really do a lot of holding. Fiend's getting very low. Dreadquake Mortar continues to roll through him. Chosen God's in a bit of trouble. In the back line, we still have a Star Dragon. It's very healthy. It's trying to do things. It's killing some Skeleton Horsemen, but I don't know if that's the most important thing that's happening right now. Final Transmutation is coming out for somebody, but both sides have it, so it's hard to tell who's bringing it. There we go. It is a blue team Final Transmutation, so it is damaging Zatan and Cetra. The Chaos Dwarves are running out of places to sit and shoot. Tomb Kings are as well. Of course, this thing can shoot wherever it sits. It just fires point blank range. Ooh, that is going to be a nasty shot. Okay, hit the edge of the formation. Hive's got a little lucky there. Bounce power still slightly red favored. Slightly. Emphasis on the slight before the Lee. Tomb King's Forced Summon is coming out here while the Granite Guard just set up guard mode and start firing away at the Exalted Lord Exchange of Metal, though it did have full shields at the time, so it didn't even take any damage. Demonsmith Sorcerer is still hunting on the Archmage of Life, who is a decent melee combatant, especially with Star Dragon coming to help her out. That's going to get a lot worse for our poor Demonsmith Sorcerer, who's going to want to get out of here. And Khorne's Bloody Fist is coming up. I am scared-fied. But I suppose he might have a overcasted Final Transmutation off cooldown, because we did see one on the other side recently, so maybe if you could use that, it could all be a grand bait. Does not look like a grand bait. He is just getting his ass handed to him. Still have the Chosen of the Gods very healthy if they can get to safety. does throw down the final trans. He doesn't attach to anyone, he just throws it on the ground, but it is... No, actually it's another blue one. Where are all the red final transmutations coming from? The Demons of Sorcerer of Metal is the only source of the Chaos Dwarves wins of magic, so he does need to be using it. Granite Guard get messed up by a really nice breath attack. Now I'm getting concerned, because if the Demons of Sorcerer doesn't use his breath attack, his final transmutations, then that's a lot of money just left on the field. Corn's Bloody Fist netted again, but there's no follow-up once again. Archmage of Death. Why can't I get her thing correct? Shadows, now it's death, now it's life. She's getting shot as she runs by the Ushapti Great Bows, but she will heal and keep dodging, so she'll largely be okay. Zatan continues to get chased by the Exalted Lord of Change of Metal. And you think that the Exalted Lord of Change of Metal would be the one having issues getting final transes off because of the silence aura here, but it's our Demon Smith Sorcerer that's having such issues. Is that a Sword of Corn or something? That's Sword of Corn or something. All right, Sword of Corn, let's go. Infernal Guard take a lot of damage. An entire Skeleton Horseman is deleted. And the blue team is still scrapping in this fight. As where is the red team final trans when you need it? It's the Star Dragon, Corn's Bloody Fist, and the Exalted Greater Spook Demon, Lord of Change. Next clan where we nominate Gojira for hot dog eating contest. All right, I'll allow it. Hey, there it is. Final trans is down. Corn's Bloody Fist takes a little bit. Most of it is focused around the Exalted Lord of Change, who's currently being harassed by the Necropolis Knights with halberds, who then leave him alone to go for the Star Dragon. Corn's Bloody Fist is very low, getting dangerously close to crumbling. But the fight's getting spread out. The High Elves are still healing, though Lamasu Mount Boy is on the hunt. He is faster and he has silence when he's nearby, so she can't cast any healing whatsoever. Do have some Skeleton Spearmen still. We have one regular Ushapti Great Bow with a ton of ammunition and HP. The Chosen of the Gods is pretty good on HP, not great on... Wait, other way around. Pretty bad on HP, great on ammo. Demon Smith Sorcerer is still trying to chase down the Life Mage while the Exalted Lord of Change chases him. He's gonna want to be careful. Don't want to die. I understand not wanting this Life Mage to come back, and she will. But don't want to die. Red team is way up on the bounce power though. Demons of Chaos and High Elves just running out of randoms. Corn's Bloody Fist has faded. The Life Mage might rally. -1 leadership. She's getting shot at by Ushapti Great Bows on the way out. She's right next to the white line. She will not come back. High Elves lose extra leadership. We're going to start seeing them route even quicker. Some of those Spearmen are going to route. These Legendary Archers are going to route. That could start a cascading army loss type effect. That was a janky breath attack, but he tried. Star Dragon's trying to kill off the Chosen Gods. The Exalted Lord of Change is trying to kill off the other Ushapti. But Cetra is here. Cetra is healthy. Demons of Sorcerer gets a free charge down. And we still, of course, have the entire Iron Demon ROR Dreadquake Mortar. Hey, Zatan's here too. Everybody's here. Let's all just pile in on this guy. I know he's silenced right now, but imagine if he could cast Final Trance and just, like, flat out killed Zatan and the other guy. Turned around, beat Cetra to death. That would be hype. Unstoppable Demon Man. Is not to be, however, there is a Final Transmutation onto the Star Dragon, just to be extra sure that the forces of RTK lose this round. And XMT tie it back up at 7-7. Boom, boom! It was a close game, but you could not stop that thing. 2,900 value for the Demon's Tongue. Castor Pew Pew also went ham. Cetra did alright. Chosen the gods, other shop did okay, Necropolis Knights did fantastic. For Flamaster, his lord did okay. Some of the Furies did alright. Seekers, I'm not sold. Fiends got wrecked. And then there's the random autosave. I don't know why the autosave is there. Okay, now we have 5 more left. Let's do this. Is that, what the hell is that? Flying Taco? Okay, now I'm intrigued. Is that the Flying Taco? What the shit? Sipa versus Flying Taco, Kislev versus Tzeentch, but Flying Taco took the Burning Chariot of Tzeentch, which sucks. Taco does make himself famous using things that are considered terrible and winning anyway, but I think the Burning Chariot is, like, actually terrible. So what do we have here? For Kislev of Sipa, Hailstorm, Ice Witch of Tempest on a Frostworm, then a Light War Sled for a bit of disruption. Kossars and Armored Kossars, some Streltsy as well. We have Winged Lancers on the back, and a Griffin Legion over there. For the forces of Tzeentch, we have the Golden Griffin of Theurgy, Sartorial the Everwatcher with Final Transmutation and Searing Doom. Regular Chaos Chariot of Tzeentch. Chaos Warriors of Tzeentch with Halberds, Marauders, Exalted Pink Horrors, and a Burning Chariot that just did an insane amount of friendly fire damage. Okay, Burning Chariot is out. It missed the Streltsy entirely. That was also exciting. Griffin Legion going to charge straight into Chaos Warriors with Halberds. They were unbraced, so they won't get as much return damage down. There's a good hit at last from the Burning Chariot, and it is doing tens of damage. Burning Chariot is halfway out of ammunition, and I don't want to just be a hater, but I am a hater, and I just want to watch this thing suck and die. Alright. Elsewhere, Golden Griffin of Theurgy and the Tzeentch forces are causing some mass disruption. They are taking a little bit of damage, but overall they're doing fine. And now the Burning Chariot of Tzeentch is stuck in melee. Exalted Pinks, anyone know the thought on those memeings? No, they're okay. They can hold against Kislev's backline access, like their Kossovite Dervishes if they just suicide dive. Hybrid melee stats do pretty well. They have higher missile strength, so it's pretty good. Final Transmutation is out from Tzeentch, trying to damage the Kossars and the Light War Sleds, let the Burning Chariot get away. Burning Chariot's almost out of ammunition, and it has gotten 1400 value, so maybe it's good now. Sartorial dives down onto the Ice Witch with the help of the Golden Griffin. They are 2v1ing. They are fighting in Winged Lancers, but they should be fine with that overall. Tzeentch is very ahead on the balance of power. Burning Chariot's still going absolutely nuts. Dives into some Streltsy. Has 2 shots left. The Light War Sled's getting shot by Exalted Pink Horrors in the distance. 50 armor, no missile resistance, no shields is going to be a problem. The Burning Chariot of Tzeentch has 1 shot left. I'm kind of surprised, like, listen, I know it's trash, but I say it's trash because it's super expensive and it's really squishy. I am surprised that Sipa has ignored it entirely, because he could just turn and shoot it quick. The extra recharge is nice, I suppose, but I'm just saying. Just saying. Burning Chariot, part of the reason I say it sucks is you can kill it really easily, but if you just ignore it, it might do a lot of damage. Lots of spells coming in between the Golden Griffin and Ice Witch, and then Sartorial, actually. We have a lot of Searing Doom type abilities in this game. Light War Sleds are stuck in a standoff with the Burning Chariot of Tzeentch, who is going to go use its last shot very soon. Has paid for itself, I believe, or is it 1700? It might be 1700. Might be. Kislev's falling very far behind. Still have the Golden Griffin and Sartorial, both pretty decent duelists in their own right. Someone has to take care of this Streltsy, provide Sartorial with the cover fire he needs. Insanely Strong is a bit of an overstatement, but it's good now. Changebringers are also very squishy, but they can do a ton of damage. They can, but they do more damage more consistently than the Burning Chariot of Tzeentch. Yeah. I'm not sold. I think if Sipa had shot that thing like once, it would have died very, very quickly and been a waste of Taco's money. Burning Chariot of Tzeentch is going to finally fade away. Sartorial's chasing off the Griffin Legion. And things are looking pretty bad for Kislev. Now, we do have some Armored Kossars at last getting out in the Exalted Pink Horrors. Exalted Pink Horrors share a stat line with the Armored Kossars, so this isn't a free win for the Armored Kossars by any means. But it's probably their best hope. Is Griffin Legion going to rear charge some Halberds, try and get rid of those guys. And now the only hope for Kislev is a snipe onto Sartorial, who is pretty low, 2,000 HP. Ice Witch could maybe do it. Really good Hailstorm here onto the Kessler's Halberds mid run, but Hailstorm does like no damage compared to Searing Doom. Yeah. I'm not sold on Hailstorm. I think if you're going to go with the lore of Tempest, you should just go with Blizzard, or Hawks of Mishka is actually better, but I forget if that's Ice or Tempest. Kislev's trying to rally a bit of a last defense. And to their credit, Tzeentch's balance of power is heavily wrapped up in the Golden Griffin being so healthy, which... It's not fraudulent, the Golden Griffin is a good unit, but like, if you get to a late game where you have all these Streltsy shooting at it from different angles, it will die pretty quick. Ooh, that is a nasty Final Transmutation from Sartorial. Yeah, that's fucked up. That might just cost them the game. Well, cost Kislev the game. Because that's a... Is there a Bolt of Change coming in too? Yes, there is. She might die. Ah, so close to dead. But she'll probably route off. I don't know if she can rally with sub 300 HP. I just don't know. She's not an elf, for God's sake. So without their Lord and Caster, their leadership's going to fumble. And Kislev has really strong leadership, especially with Buyer Blood. But like, if you get into a late game with the Golden Griffin and Sartorial switching off Cycle Charging and whatever, then these guys Buyer Blood wears off. I mean, they're just dead. Final Herald Store from her. I'm guessing it does 10 damage. It did a 200, did 300 damage. I was a little wrong. I was close. Golden Griffin with the Searing Doom. He chases off the Ice Witch. He wants to finish her off, though this does leave him open to a lot of Streltsy shots while he does so. But thankfully, he gets a good charge attack that connects, which is something that shouldn't be surprising, but it is. It is. Bounce power shifting dangerously close to Army Loss's territory, though you can see where the hope was. If that Final Transmutation hadn't hit that lady plus that tier 2 army ability that did so much damage to her, like, the Streltsy are doing good work on the Golden Griffin. Sartorial is very low. They're just too low now without an Ice Witch also threatening them. That is going to be GG. Don't take discount Searing Doom to a Searing Doom fight. And Flying Taco gets the win with the Burning Chariot of Tzeentch. 1,800 value. I think that thing costs 1,700, so not even that crazy. I think no one played Dowie in the Clan War, which is the grand victory for the world of all kind. Of all kind. Got it. Yeah. I don't love Hailstorm. I don't know what it is. Just every time I use Hailstorm, it feels underwhelming. So that was Flying Taco's win, bringing us to 8 for the XMT Meme Lords. We have 2 Conquest games, a Domination game, and a free-for-all left. Hang on to your butts. It's gonna get spicy. Gonna get spicy. Ash versus Inkars. Is Ash RTK now? Did you guys get Ash too? Alright. Glade Lord with Pravenoth Rema is out here for Ash. Then a front line of Dryads backed up by triple Waywatcher. You go to old-fashioned triple Waywatcher kite. Great Stag Knights and Wild Riders in the back. We do have an Earthblood. Wait, just a Regrowth caster. No Earthblood. For the Tomb Kings, A lot of horsemen. Skeleton horsemen and Nekar horsemen on each flank. Quite a lot of them. Triple Ushopti Great Bow. No. Double Super Stalker. One Chosen Gods Great Bow. Cetra on his kitty cat, and then a bunch of skellies in the front line. I had a tough time when Pigman played this matchup into me. He just took like 2 cats, or did he even go 2 cats? He might have gone just Katep, I think. No, but 2 chariots, 8 cav, then 4 more skirmish cav, and then even some Acropolis Knights, I think, and then some frontline. It was just ridiculous. There's so many people. Weight Watchers falling back under the spread shot fire of the Chosen the Gods. They want nothing to do with that. And now the Wood Elves might have a hard time peeling this backline with 3 elite cavalry versus 7 chaff. I would never expect a fair fight, as these Wild Riders are currently fighting a 2v1 with Jaff's Incantation Cursed Blades. They're going to get a regrowth, but they also might get rear charge by Nekar Horsemen. I also wouldn't hate to see the Nekar Horsemen. Yeah, just go for the Weight Watchers. Meanwhile, Wild Hunters of Kurnos fighting Nekar Horsemen, and Skeleton Horsemen also pile on while these other Nekar Horsemen are going to get around the sides. And the Tomb King stuck several people through the front line to ignore the Dryads and go for the back line as well. So they're really just trying to harass the Weight Watchers. Very good Wood Elf net out onto Skeleton Horsemen. Skeleton Horsemen isn't the target you want for it, but you got to do something to keep these guys off your Weight Watchers. So good peeling so far. They're doing great. Great Stag Knights taking good fights over the Wild Riders. Cetra's still trying to find a home. The Dryads are just holding that front line down as we have Sepulchral Stalkers who seem lost in the sauce. There's one over there that's not moving. The other one's coming up here to do something about this. Wild Riders got done with one of their horseman opponents. They're on to the next Skeleton Horseman. Killed a Nehekara Horseman. Because everything's named the same. Now Cetra, 1 Nekar Horseman, and an Ushopti Summon are back here causing disruption. There goes the Skeleton Horseman as well. Wild Riders and Great Stag Knights getting whittled down. Sepulchral Stalkers end up in melee combat with these guys. The Great Stag Knights, they love being in melee combat with Sepulchral Stalkers. It's a hybrid unit, but they're much more scared of their laser blasts than actually their melee stats. But the Great Stag Knights have other things to be doing, so this is a win-win for the Tomb Kings. It's you either take a pretty good fight into my Sepulchral Stalkers, or you get shot by the Sepulchral Stalkers, you try and defend your Weight Watchers. All 3 Weight Watchers are looking doomed at this point. One is about to rout, another is about to rout, and another is getting Syrians. Meanwhile, the Chosen of the Gods continue to shoot at the Great Stag Knights, who are currently all clumped up while they are getting regrowthed. Just trying to out-damage that healing, and it's working because that regrowth is already wearing off, and their health didn't really go anywhere because of how much damage they took. Wood Elves in a bad spot. Their front line is winning, but not by enough to be like, woo, we did it! Front line's winning, yay! It has only difference between the Hailstorm. Overcast is different. It has increased duration, so more missiles and spread, so it's actually worth using. Yeah, but the Undercast is not very good. Anyway, I digress. Wild Hunters Kurnos still out here killing horsemen. They've killed so many. 1,200 value worth of horsemen. That's 130 kills, and they've only killed horseback riders. Still, though, the Weight Watchers that are rallying are so wounded, I don't think they're even really going to matter. I think the Tomb Kings accomplished their goal. All 3 of the Wood Elf Cav are a depleted forest. Great Stag Knights are getting shoved off the map now. The Wild Riders are terror routing. They'll probably be back, but I wonder if the Sepulchral Stalkers just throw on shoot mode for a second and kill them. But the Sepulchral Stalkers trying to follow these Dryads and kite with the Chosen of the Gods. And with Cetra going to come peel, means the Chosen Gods will be back up online. I don't see where the Wood Elves get the damage to finish this shit out. I think they're done, son. Deep Wood! Thanks for yelling at the back of my head, Wood Elves. But yeah, I don't know. 20 Weight Watchers, 30 Weight Watchers, 14 Weight Watchers. Between all of them, they have a full unit of Weight Watchers. Meanwhile, the Tomb Kings still have a full health Sepulchral Stalker, wounded Sepulchral Stalker, almost full health Chosen of the Gods, full health Cetra. That's a lot. That's a lot to churn through. Another good regrowth on the Wild Hunters of Kurnos. That is certainly a way back into this game. So the Weight Watchers start to fire on the Chosen of the Gods. Even though they're out of range. Don't know how they're pulling that off when they're out of range, but they are. The Chosen Gods route those guys. Sepulchral Stalkers fire at the Wild Hunters of Kurnos on their way. But Dryads are distracting them enough, and the Wild Hunters might just go for it on the Chosen Gods. Also, don't you have 2 more nets? You have 1. Ew, you just use it on those Sepulchral Stalkers? Ew, gross, yucky. Okay. I guess that's fine. It's not like those guys are going anywhere, though. It's more my problem with it. Seriously, Incantation of Vengeance going to drag down the Wild Hunter's Kronos. That spell still does insane amounts of damage. So they're going to start losing models again pretty soon. 7 seconds left of it. 14 models, down to 13, and they tear out away from Cetra. No one has captured the point on this conquest map. Don't think that's going to end up mattering. And like, where is the Wood Elf DPS here? It's non-existent. As soon as this Glade Lord takes, I'm going to say 3 hits from Cetra, this game is over. Because the game's putting far too much faith in the full health Glade Lord to carry this. Everything else for the Wood Elves is gone. Lower the mic. Alright, Cetra is not going to come over here and play ball. He has no interest in it. As the Way Watchers get a couple shots off here and there onto Sparkle Stalkers. Hazel is back. Hazel is down. Damn. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't see the damage, Chief. I don't see it. What kills Cetra? What kills the Sparkle Stalker? Fucking nothing. Jeff's Incantation of Overcasted Curse Blades, giving the Chosen of the Gods bonus versus large just to fight back against the Glade Lord. That's pretty funny. You have to admit, that's pretty funny. Cetra's running in, gonna say hi to the Wild Hunter's Kronos. I wonder, is he just gonna disrespect Usurians them and kill them that way, or is he actually gonna rear charge him? Looks like he's actually gonna rear charge him. But I wouldn't be surprised if the BM was on the way. Sparkle Stalker still trying to kite it out. I am horrified that Cetra has not tried to attack this Glade Lord and just end this game. Three single entities walk into a bar. Cetra does not serve the end. There's a good volley. Praven off Rayma, netting these guys in place. Cetra still needs to just get a shot in. There's a regrowth onto the Glade Lord. Remember the prophecy, though. I said 3 shots from Cetra and this game's over. One. Yep, he missed that one. Glade Lord's taking damage from other Sparkle Stalkers, but that's not what we're watching for. 2. Come on. 3, Cetra. He missed again. 3 from Cetra. I predicted it like 5 minutes ago, so if that happens, that'd be actually sick. He missed again. Shit. He missed again. Shit. Hit him once. Quick. It's about to end. Swing. Damn you, cat. Damn you. You had so many opportunities to swing, and yet you refused me. Stupid cat. All right. XMT goes up 9-7. We're running out of games, lads. For Ashe, the Lord did alright. Drads did fine. Waywatchers struggle to get their value out because the Tomb Kings are so good at running them down now with all their mobility. The Cavalry of the Wood Elves did well. For Incars, Cetra did great, as he usually does. Skeleton Horsemen did okay. Neckcar Horsemen did okay. Mostly just when they got in the Waywatchers. Sparkle Stalkers and Ushapta Great Bows did fine. Fine. Alright, let's get a Dom game in here. Dom, then Conquest, then Free-for-All. We have Chimbampu versus F-Pod. So, RTK, at this point, is they're back against the wall. There's 3 games left. It's 7-9. They have to win all 3 to win the Clan War. If XMT wins 1 of the next 3 games, they are the big winners. Winners, winners, chickens, dinners. Starting armies don't matter as much because you're going to spawn in a bunch of stuff, but the rough idea for the Dark Elves is a crap ton of chaff and dark shards, and then dark red peer crossbows and scourge runners. We also have a Beastcaster with Flock of Doom and a High Beastmaster on his chariot with the Tormentor Sword. The other side for Lizardmen, once again, they will spawn in stuff, but 2 Ancient Salamanders for kiting, Lord Mazdamundi with his net and Apotheosis, then Saurus Warriors to hold the fort. Mace Saurus, is this some Dom sorcery? Yeah, a little bit. Scourge Runners and the Skirmishers will try and counterfire against the Salamanders as the Salamanders try and whittle down the Dark Elf troops. Looks like the Saurus are not moving to take a point yet, so the Dark Elves might just get a triple cap for free while the Lizardmen try and get some value elsewhere. If you are rooting for a close, down-to-the-wire series, you are rooting for the Dark Elves here, as RTK needs all 3 of the next games to pull back the whole thing. Dark Riders get netted in place as Feral Cold Ones run up. I love that. That is great. It's a good way to get some damage onto a cheeky skirmish unit that usually gets away. Feral Cold Ones, however, are not doing the most damage. That's just kind of where they're at after several rounds of nerfs, but still good play. The Salamanders continue to fall back. F-Pod is spamming Saurus. He has all the Saurus.
We have a victory point. Keep it from the foe.
Triple cap for the Dark Elves. As the invisible fireball hits his Dark Rider Peter crossbows. Mazda's in, but Mazda has insane missile resistance, doesn't he? I thought it was higher than that. I think it's higher on his... It's higher on his chair than it is on his thing. Also, yeah, that Dark Shard just got murdered by the Ruination of Cities. That was great. And a banishment from Mazda. Man, Mazda's out here clipping wings. But without his extra missile resistance from being on his throne, Mazda's actually pretty vulnerable out here. The High Beastmaster is a decent melee combatant when he can shoot in melee with his Scourge Runner Chariot mount. And we do have Dark Shards and Dark Rider Peter crossbows just shooting Mazda in the back right here. Saurus are trying to break in. In a vacuum, they'll beat Bleak Swords, but as we can see, this has been anything but a vacuum, as the Saurus have taken a crazy amount of damage from the Dark Shards firing in for free. The Lizardmen seem to be making a frontline push. Not super interested in the high ground. Not going to sneak up there at all, just piling Saurus Warriors onto the point. Gonna out-muscle the Dark Elves. Dude is a professional. F-Pod's a professional diver. Well, good for F-Pod. Cold Knights have been spawned, so the Dark Elves have a little bit more mobility presence than they used to. Not just all infantry all day, all the time. As Mazda is now mired in Cold One Knights. Heals himself up. Salamanders and Saurus should help heal, and yeah, those Cold One Knights are going to get running. Are these Cold One Riders? Nope, still Feral Cold Ones. Okay. Flock of Dooms try and stop the Saurus, who are still battling back against our Dread Spear companions. I imagine Dark Elves suffer in Dom quite a bit because they only get 1 cast of Murderous Prowess, and then they're kind of limp for the rest of the game. Beastmaster is still out here shooting away at Mazdamundi. Mazda's gonna net the Cold One Knights in a bad spot while getting hit with Skink Cohorts of Javelins, and Skink Cohorts are running up to them, and then the Ancient Salamander can get away, so that is a high value net. But the Dark Elves have not relinquished any of the point. They are holding the shit out of it. You have some Dark Shards that have rallied and need to either be desummoned or come back to the point. Can't have them lollygagging about. Still the Ancient Salamander firing in on the Dark Shard. Getting some decent shots in there. Another big Flock of Doom. Yeah, that was a good Flock of Doom. It hurt the caster a lot, but it was still really good. So Mazda. Does he get a penalty in the forest for being large? Who? What? Who? When? Where? Why? Who? What? When? Mazda's still super low, but they can't quite kill him yet. Both Salamanders are still alive and still getting shots in occasionally, and the Saurus are now starting to outgrind the Dark Elves on the central point. The Dark Elves have gotten almost half of the tickets they need to win the game, though, completely uncontested, which means they could get half of the tickets of Lizardmen for the rest of the game and still win. Mazda's Ruination of Cities does a lot of friendly fire. That is extremely unfortunate for F-Pod, as all 3 of the tails go back into his own troops. He can't control that at all. That is purely unlucky. Oof. Terrible. Dark Riders, Cold One Knights, Dark Rider Peer Crossbows. The Dark Elves are starting to get a bit more mobility skin in the game, but How much is it really going to factor in? Lizardmen are about to take their first point. Still not contesting point 1. Still not contesting point 3. They got point 2. Source Warriors run up to the Dark Shards. Other Dark Shards have rallied at last, and they're firing backwards. Dark Riders clean up these guys. Feral Cold Ones and Cold One Spear Riders, they can get rid of those. Lizardmen are desummoning some stuff to get more available troops to buy. Mazda's running low on HP. Might lose their caster, might lose their lord. Can you desummon a lord? I thought they changed that. I don't think Mazda can be desummoned. You can't get rid of him so that he doesn't cause you a leadership penalty. As the Dark Shards still shoot at him occasionally. The Beastmaster is here trying to shoot him in the face. One more shot from Beastmaster will take him down. Looks like he might be going into melee instead. Mazda is doomed. There we go. So Lizardmen are about to take a nasty shock to their leadership. And we are at 900 points to 60. So if the rest of this game remains close, the Dark Elves are just going to eke it out on points for sure. Because the Dark Elves are currently ahead on damage value. They have more resources in the back. They have more units on the field, though obviously their units are very tattered. It's just like nothing is really going Lizardmen's way right now. Using Ruination of Cities is just another form of gambling addiction without getting outed as a degen Siege player. Love that. The Salamander Kite has not been working out. These Salamanders have been trying to shoot forever, and they are just not really bringing the bacon home. Look at these guys. Look at them. They've been trying to shoot at this forever. Boom! There we go! Now that we bring attention to them, they get a huge shot. Good for you. Good for you. Now, if you could only do that all game long instead of, like, once. There we go. Some good damage on the Bleak Swords. Problem, Dark Elves retook the center point. Counter problem, Dark Elves haven't quite lost the top point yet, so we're back to a triple cap for Chimbabu versus FPod. And it looks like FPod is actually going to be forced off, so yes, it looks like the Dark Elves will retain their triple cap. 100 points on the board for the Lizardmen. The Dark Elves are going nowhere. Still have some repeater crossbows in the back, not doing too much. They do have to get a little more active. Dark Shards are moving up. It looks like he hasn't desummoned like anything that took damage. He just brought it back to the fight because they had ammunition. So, yeah. FPod sees the writing on the wall, backs out. And that is a win for RTK when they needed it most. 2 games left. RTK is 1 game down. They need the next win to tie. As far as I know, all games were planned ahead of time, so the free-for-all could not matter. I was just saving it for the end. But I actually have no idea what the score is going into this final thing. Really good damage value for the Beastmaster. Some people have been experimenting around with him. Love to see it. Alrighty. So that was the domination. 2 games left. Tim the Wilder has to beat Flying Taco on Flying Taco's Ogres for the free-for-all to even matter at all. All right. One sec. Somebody was asking me a question on Discord. Okay, answer that question. Let's do this. For all the marbles, match point still for XMT. If the Tomb Kings win this, the free-for-all matters. If the Ogres win this, Flying Taco clinches it for XMT. For Tim, 4 Skeleton Horse Archers, Eyes of the Desert Purple Stalker ROR. We have the Sphinx Usef, Big Kitty Cat fire damage, and then Grand Hierophant Kotep just to reset the enemy's cooldowns constantly. bunch of Tomb Guard, Halberds, and Skeleton Spearmen, and a couple basic Skeleton Archers for a little bit of extra pokey pokes. No side for Taco, Fire Belly with Burning Head, but what's that extra thing? Fire Breath. Fire Breath and Burning Head. A Tyrant with his self-heal. Gnoblars and Gnoblar Trappers. We do have Ogre Bulls, a Giant, Saber-Tusk Packs, and then 2 Crushers, one of which is the Sky Striders. No Troll Guts for them. They're going to have to rely on getting Butchers for any healing at all. Tomb King's getting a lot of damage out on the approach. Skull Storm from Kotep taking out almost an entire Gnoblar Trapper, which is actually pretty huge, because they're kind of an archer unit, too. It's 500 gold you're not getting back. Yay! Alright, the Gnoblars try and get into the back line. They are going to disrupt some Skeleton Archers. Looks like they get straight onto those guys. Cause a little bit of disruption. But Gnoblars are not exactly high DPS units. So I think those Archers will be okay. As a lot of the Gnoblar frontline is already actually getting trash canned. We'll see what the Crushers can get done. Crushers trying to chase down the Skeleton Horse Archers. The Skeleton Horse Archers, good job peeling back into Skeleton Spears. And they're trying to trigger the Rampage on those Saber-Tusk Packs, but it doesn't look like it's going to work for now. Something just damaged Kotep. What the hell? Must have been an overcast of some kind. Nice Burning Head through the front line. Looks like it's going to hit that Tomb Guard, but also an Archer and also a Spearman. So a bit of a schwupsie from Tim the Wilder ending up like that. He hates to see it. But the Tomb King's front line is getting broken. The Ogre's pushing through meaningfully. The Tyrant, that was the first time I've ever seen his little mace thing, the Thunder Mace, used effectively, but it did good damage to those spears. Sky Striders are in the thick of it, right where they want to be, and the Necro Sphinx might want to fight back on top of these Halberds. Get the Sparkle Stalkers out, obviously, and these Horse Archers and whatnot, but like fighting on top of the Tomb Guard Halberds might be the best situation they can get. It looks like the Necro Sphinx wants nothing to do with it. He's instead going to go peel for the Ogre Bulls, knock those guys out. He'll tear out them very soon, and then they can get running. But second Skull Storm's out into the Gnoblar Trappers, still causing some disruption, a little bit of damage here and there. Things have descended into a chaotic fight. I don't know if that's necessarily bad for the Tomb Kings, because like there are a ton of Halberds in this build, just sitting there poking at things. But I think that the Tomb Kings overall wanted a more ordered fight, and the Ogres just wanted to get in there and cause some violence. We'll see. I'm not sold. Like, this is a lot of Halberds that the Crushers are having to deal with. All the Gnoblars are routing, leaving the Ogre's most expensive units all by themselves in Halberds. Ooh, and this is terrible. The Tyrant gets caught out. He's going to have to fight the Sphinx of Usef all alone. A Burning Head is coming through. It's going to take out a lot of spears. There's a Giant nearby as well, but the Tyrant is just about to Terror Route. Unless he already did off screen, I didn't see it. Sparkle Stalker's turn to shoot at the Sky Striders, who are coming uphill. Decent little volley, gets a bit of damage, but now the Sky Striders are on him, and those are dead Sparkle Stalkers. Shop Summon is out. He'll have to rear charge those guys pretty quick. Taco's Lord does rally from being terror routed, but the Giant is not feeling so good. Fighting on top of Halberds with the Sphinx of Usef. Both these guys are getting dragged down quite a lot. The Tomb Kings have a huge lead on the balance of power. It looks like that free-for-all might be the game decider after all. The Sky Striders are stuck fighting the Eyes of the Desert and these Archers, which is pretty good for them. They'll take that. They'll take that at the bank. I'm more just worried about this Tyrant being constantly hunted by the Sphinx of Usef. Shing! Manages to miss. There are Crushers and a Giant and a Tyrant here. Maybe they can kill the Sphinx and then slow the game down. Because if they can get Butchers on their Crushers, maybe they can just cycle charge their way through all these spears. Can happen. Crushers are spooky. Breath attack in from the Fire Belly. A little bit of damage, just a teeny tiny poke. But the Giant is about dead. He's got 1700 HP and falling fast. There's another beautiful Burning Head up the line, but that is a lot of Tomb Guard. While the Burning Heads are excellent. Wow, it's curving off into nowhere for no reason. It's kind of coming back, but no, it curved wildly away from its intended targets. That is just unlucky here for Flying Taco and the Ogres. Giant is dead. Giant is gone. No more Bash Buddy to help out our Tyrant friend. I think one more hit from the Necrosphinx and the Tyrant's also going to be running for the hills. The Crushers are trying to carry this game, trying to put it on their back. I really haven't seen much healing for them. I don't know if maybe the Sky Strider's got a Butcher and that's why I can see their heal cap, but their heal cap isn't that close. So I could also just see, you know, their heal cap being that far away because it's that far away. Tyrant routes in front of the Necrosphinx. Really beautiful rear charge, does kill off some skeletons, but there's still a lot more halberds to go. The Necrosphinx is not giving up on the Tyrant, and it kills him off entirely, spiking the Ogre's leadership down. That means none of the Noblars are going to be useful for the rest of this game. The Firebell is even thinking about leaving, and the Necrosphinx just turns around, takes one final fight, and it will army loss these guys. And we're going to the final game to determine the winner of this clan war. Tim the Wilder did not disappoint when he was needed. Those halberds did get a lot of value. Sparkle Stalkers also did great. Skeleton Horse Archers did fine. Flying Taco is Firecaster did fantastically. Sky Striders did okay. The rest failed him a little bit. This is it. This is it. A free-for-all. And it's not going to show me the players here. I hope it'll show me the scores in-game. In case it doesn't, the free-for-all is between Nalnish and Big JP and Gojira and Maydave. Twist is not biased. I see. All right, I can see the scores. So for RTK to win, the Lizardmen or the Tomb Kings must win. For XMT, the Warriors of Chaos or Gojira's Greenskins. All right, for Big JP and the Tomb Kings, we have Cetron as Kitty Cat, then the other Kitty Cats, the double cat build. Pretty standard stuff. Necropolis Knights with Halberds, Melee Ushapti, the Chosen of the Gods, and some Skeleton Spearmen. For Borgash, his Lizardmen ally, they're not allies like 2v2, but like if either of them wins, they'll be happy. Double Quaddle and a Metal Mage with Final Transmutation. Then we have Feral Cold Ones, Skin Courts with Javelins, and Cold One Spear Riders. And you gotta be careful with spells, because some spells don't actually give you value in free-for-alls, so I'm imagining the players metagamed this and probably checked what spells actually work. On the other side, Maydave, we have the Rotting Riders, a bunch of Skirmish Cav, more Rot Knights, and then Marauders, Chaos Warriors, more Marauders, and we have Zarthoriel with Final Transmutation and Searing Doom. So it's FFA, but teams? Yeah. Yeah. And then for the Greenskins, the final thing, we have Death Creepers and Murderers, Ranging Marauders, Orc Borbabiggans, Savage Orc Borbabiggans, Stone Trolls, Night Goblins, Goblins with Spears. The Night Goblins have Spinning Loons, an Orc Shaman with Headbutt and Brainburster, and then Scarsnake with his Rampage and Prada. Well, Spited to Bad Moon, so it's not actually his Prada. It says combined. Oh, okay. JP, who organized this event, coming in clutch. It's a combined score for the team who is the winner. Gotcha. Yeah, you sent me that, but there's a lot of complication, and we are 3 hours into the stream, so you told me that 3 hours ago. Alright, Chosen of the Gods trying to get a little bit of counter skirmish out, getting chased away by Stone Trolls and Night Goblins. Want to be careful not to get rampaged. That could have actually been bad if Scarsnake had gotten in range in time. He was trying to, but he's slow. But if he had rampaged those Chosen of the Gods straight into their death, that'd be bad. Dav cheering for XMT. What up, Dov? Hope you're excited for the new DLC coming out soon. Anyway, Quaddles dueled with Sarthoria a little bit, didn't get through his barriers, so they're a little disappointed. Slowjira, 0 points so far on the board. He has been just moving up, trying to get the green skins into the fight. What is that? That is a Final Transmutation Overcast from the Lizardman, and clearly that works, because that is a lot of gold damage value. That Final Transmutation worked so good. Alright, the players did check. Frail Cold Ones get Rampage downhill into Marauders, though it is a downhill chill charge into Marauders, so not bad. You love to see it. And over here, a Brain Burster, gonna disrupt the Spearman formations, do a good bit of damage as the Night Goblins get in. Spinning Loons need to be used, otherwise you're paying too much for a bad unit. But I don't know if Spinning Loons actually count towards your damage value. We'll see if Slowjira spikes up when the Loons come out. They do not count. Alright, Spinning Loons don't count for shit. Rest in peace. It's one of those things that's really janky about free-for-alls. You need to know exactly what counts and what doesn't count. Now the double Quaddle are sniping out Sarthorial. Wall of Banishment goes through the Skirmish Cav and grouped up Marauders. The Rotting Riders come in to try and save Sarthorial. He is demonic, so if his leadership falls low enough, he will just fade away entirely as the Quaddles use their bound spells to try and save themselves from the Rotting Riders, but they are still taking a lot of damage. So close to killing off Sarthorial, who does check out a Final Transmutation. If it's Overcast, it might kill him. No, he dodges the Overcast damage. I saw the plume, but it wasn't enough. The Rotting Riders are going to drag down an entire Quaddle with their time. Lizardmen seem to be doing pretty well versus the Forces of Chaos, especially the Quaddles hunting down Zarthorial. That's going great for them. They are going to lose one Quaddle, but I would take that trade any day of the week. RTK is up to about 6,500 value, while Mayday and Slowjira are about 4,500. Really, not knowing that the Spinning Loons do not count towards your damage is punching Gojira right in the balls right now. He is very upset about that. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. I was distracted by chat for a second. Skirmish Cav for Goji are in here. The Greenskins trying to punch the Tomb King's line. They are getting some good damage out. Like, these Necropolis Knights are no slouches, and they're getting punched down. But the Warriors of Chaos are in a bit of disarray. Zarthorial is still alive, which is a miracle. But a Quaddle is already pushed off. Another Quaddle's at half HP. And Zarthorial just has to find a way to stay alive, and he'll be okay. I suppose the Warriors of Chaos, if they somehow limit the Cold One Spear Riders, they'll be okay. This Lizardman build did have a lot of Cold One boys. It's a Final Trans, but from who? Final Trans from the Lizardmen onto the Rotting Riders. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. Onto 2 different Rot Knights. Alright, how are the Greenskins holding on? Okay. Still have a lot of Boar Boys. Still have a lot of Trolls. Scarsnake's out here fighting. And a Fermented Fungi onto Cetra, but what's the follow-up? Because if he's rampaging, he's already in fight he wants to be in, so he's going to keep rampaging. Is it just for the minus 24 melee defense? Do we have a counter charge coming in? Goji! Goji, what was the plan? Goji, what are you doing? Oh, he's not going to charge Cetra. Coward. The coward. Damage value has evened out quite a lot, though. We are now at 11,000 to 11,000. So yeah, Mayday and Slowjira caught right back up to where they left off. But the Quaddle has not given up on Sarthorial. And ignore those barriers. Those are fake. He has 84 HP in barriers. That full bar is 84 HP. That Quaddle could still, like, one-tap his ass. The Lizardmen are running out of steam. Cold One Spear Riders are not great at grinding fights, and the Skinks have just been killed off. Meanwhile, the Greenskin Rush did get a lot of value onto Big JP. Big JP and Slowjira are having a hard time getting solid value in this fight so far. Now for Big JP, at least he still has 2 big, powerful single entities, get a lot of damage out. While the Greenskins try and drag down the Chosen Gods for a lot of damage value. Those guys are expensive. Usurian's Incantation of Vengeance makes it hard for the Boar Boys to really stick in the fight. It looks like they're both just going to be routed off. Still have some Greenskins left. Sarthorial managing to cling to life despite how hard Borgash is trying to kill him with these Quaddles. The Quaddle Assassins. Would you mind if I DM you on Discord later? Sure, yeah, do that. Oh, he's dead. He is dead as hell. Zarthorial gets hit with a Final Transmutation. He cannot dodge that. He is gone. That'll be a big problem for Chaos, because you can see now their leadership just falls apart completely. Wicked gifts the 5. Yes, Wicked gifts 5 memberships. Thank you so much, Mr. Wicked. Congratulations to all you just got that. Woo! Woo! That is neato. That is neato, and I'm excited. But the Warriors of Chaos are still trying to run down the last Lizardmen. They're trying. We still have a lot of skirmish cap. The Rotting Riders are actually quite healthy, and they're going to run down a Salon. Oh, that could be huge value as they're trying to get the Salon, but they get stopped by the trees. They're too big to fit through the trees. Now they're getting through, but it took a while. There's a lot of Coldland Spear Riders over there, but they're out of position. They are nowhere near the Salon to save him from what is coming. Meanwhile, Big JP looks like he is trying to wrap up the last of the Greenskins, tie him up in a little bow, and finish him off. But we're having similar problems to Tretch earlier in the day, where that Chaos Lord of Zinch with a halberd kept fighting Tretch. These two giant cats are fighting a halberd lord, and the Greenskins might hold on long enough for the Warriors of Chaos to get a rear charge over here, since JP's Ushapti summon and his Quaddle try and save the Salon Mage Priest. Keep him in the fight. Here come the Coldland Spear Riders. Maybe there will be no Warriors of Chaos coming to save the Greenskins. The Skarsnik takes 2 nasty shots in a row. Still a lot of skirmish cav for the Greenskins firing in. We also still have some orcs. Orc shamans, some stone trolls and stuff, but Skarsnik is all of a sudden getting hit a lot. He's not enjoying that whatsoever. Salon is routing, but the Salon will come back. The Lizardman Cavalry was here just in time, ready to save the day, keeping the Salon upright. Skarsnik is terror routing. Zork, Borbigans, and trolls will probably be close behind him. Slowjira and Maydave up to about 20,000 value, just about. Borgash and Big JP about 18,000, but Borgash and Big JP I think are in a better position to win this game. So Maydave and Slowjira are going to be a little worried. There is a bonus for winning of a couple thousand points. Just do a donation bot that lets you pay enough money to time out other members. Oh, I didn't know that was true. I didn't know that was possible. Rot Knights, the last strength of the Warriors of Chaos, getting dragged down by Ensurian's Incantation of Vengeance. We are getting into the end game now, boys. That Quaddle is just about dead. The Salon Mage Priest is under attack by Morgan's Magi Marauders. They are getting just teeny tiny little mini itty bitty amounts of damage on it, but Scarsticks here. Scarsticks can do real damage. Do you have a Rampage on you? Hell yeah, you have a Rampage on you. Rampage that bitch! No melee defense for you. I know he's going to route instantly anyway, but at least that stops him from running, and it makes the Morgrams easier to actually hit him. The Salon is down! No more final transmutations for you, but also the Lizardmen take a leadership hit. That might make the Quaddle a little more breakable. That might get rid of these Coldland Spear Riders. As the Rotting Riders hold, they still have their damage resistance because they haven't broken, I believe. Yeah, they still have their damage resistance. And a really nice surround there. Takes out the Coldland Spear Riders. Maydave and Slowjira, still about 20,000. Did I do my math wrong earlier? Because these guys are at 16,000 now. I don't know. I did my math wrong earlier, so sue me. Cetra's trying to fight back against Skarsnik and the Orc Shaman. Now that goes both ways. Like, the Salon dying fucked over the Lizardmen pretty hard, but if Skarsnik dies, the Greenskins are flat out done. Greenskins have a much harder time without their Lord. So Cetra's just got to find some momentum. He's definitely got to kill Skarsnik somehow. Skarsnik's 55 melee defense is pretty brutal. Cetra does not have the most melee attack, 40, but when he gets a charge bonus, he'll be fine, but if he can get that charge bonus is the real key. Marauder Horsemaster's trying to come in and help Cetra. Cetra does get a shot or two onto Skarsnik, but the Marauder Horsemasters peace out. They're not going to rear charge to help Cetra. He really needed that help. Usurian's Incantation Vengeance onto his own Rotting Riders, so at this point... Wait, no. No. I got confused. Never mind. Greenskins and Warriors of Chaos are a team. I was being stupid. So Borgash is out. Big JP is about to be out with Cetra. And that is it. And I don't think there's a way the RTK boys can win at this point. Because Maydave and Slowjira will feed each other their own value. And then one of them will win. So they'll get the bonus too. Because Borgash's only thing that's left in this fight is literally this Skin Court with Javelins. I think that's it. Remember, for 5 months, Yusa Buma if Yusa has no Buma. What? No. What? Yusa can't use the Buma if you has no Buma. Are you calling me a boomer? confused, alarmed, and scared. So Borgash and Big JP ended up with a combined score of, quick maths, 17,400. And XMT's Gojira and Mayday ended up with a combined score of 25,000. I guess 25,800. That's it. That's it, son. GG's. XMT wins in a best of 19. It technically went all 19 games. XMT wins with a 10-9 scrap. That is it. I mentioned at the very start of the stream, but if you are still here at this point, you are not subscribed, please do that. We are running our subathon. Is that still up? Yes, subathon. 12,500 subscribers do an ice bath question stream. 13,000, make a build for every faction. 13,500, 20-hour stream. That should be fun. I just got off a plane. I literally got off a plane, got home, started the stream. I have to go unpack. I have to go have dinner. I have to go do a lot of things, but it was a lot of fun casting for XMT and RTK. I appreciate them inviting me. They are good people. You are good people. I am leaving now because I have to go. My voice hurts and I am very tired. Very tired. Very tired. Very tired. Wicked with one membership. Thank you so much. Goodbye.